Oh, is my mic on? That would explain certain things. Okay. Okay, is the quality of the stream all right? Like, I go into restream, and restream is like, yes, Eggy, this is excellent quality, the video is nice and good, and then everything is fine. Thank you, Eggy. And then I go into like YouTube and I go into Twitch, and they're both just like, ah, there is not enough keyframes. There's not enough technology. The bit rate is abysmal, abysmal. So I don't know who to believe. I don't know who to believe. It looks fine to me, but I'm on my phone and my Surface. Your Surface. Your Surface. Okay. I will take your word for it. Let's see, is YouTube surviving? Let me just like watch the YouTube. Okay, so it looks like the YouTube one on my end is also surviving. So it looks like we're okay in that regard. Okay, stream is healthy. Okay, so maybe that was just like a random hiccup. Very weird. Very weird. Very weird. I don't know. It's my first time using this. Also, I seem to have... Is the restream logo in the corner? Hold on. I need to see. Okay, no it isn't. Yeah, it isn't. Okay, we're good. Hard to judge by just the waiting screen. Okay, then. Okay. Then how about we go to a screen that isn't just waiting. And what if we switch to different music as well? Here we go. Actually, I'm going to switch to different music. I searched for Animal Crossing music, but I don't think that was Animal Crossing. That doesn't sound very Animal Crossing. Okay, let's go with the classics. Here we go. Okay. I guess that was Animal Crossing. It was City Folk. Okay. I guess I'm outing myself as a fake Animal Crossing fan. There we go. Here we go. We believe in Eggy. Thank you for believing in Eggy. Hopefully things will look okay. Could you reach over my dresser and give me glasses so I can give you a better answer? It's like, yes, Eggy, the stream looks fine, but you're seeing, like, everything in, like, 360p. 1 p.m. slept. I'm not sleeping. I'm a-whacking, okay? I overslept. I'm kind of mad about that. I was actually excited to get back to Majora's Mask, but then I set my alarm. I'm like, okay, I will set my alarm for 9 a.m. tomorrow morning because that is when I should wake up so I can start stream at a reasonable time. And then at some point I think I woke up before my alarm. Like I woke up and it was like 7:30 or 8 and I'm like, this is too early. I will go back to sleep. So I went back to sleep. And then I don't know if either like my alarm was muted or something or if I just straight up slept through it, but I woke up and it was 11:45. 11:45. And I'm like, oh no. Dawn of the stream, minus 2 hours remain. Well, that's how it feels some days, right? Because like if I want to get other stuff done in the day, I can't start too early, right? So I have to like, I kind of just have to whack. I have to whack at a decent time, but it's so difficult. You know how hard it is to wake up, to stop sleeping? It's becoming harder every day. Soon I will just be sleeping for the entire day. Oh, I will like, I don't know, setting like sleep goals. I don't know, what's the longest you guys have slept? Because like, I've slept, I think the longest I've slept has been, I think I did 13 hours once when I was in Japan. I somehow managed I think I went to bed earlier. I was like, it was a day off, so it's not like I was like losing anything, but like, I think I like went to sleep one night and it was like, you know, like 10 p.m. or something. And then I woke up and it was like a little past noon or something. So like, or something like that. Like, I just remember like calculating it, like pulling out my phone and calculating it and being like, oh God, I just slept like 13 hours. Yeah. If being sick counts, no, then more than 24 hours. I guess also too, like interrupted or uninterrupted, because there's definitely also been times where I've like whacked and then gone back. Like I would sleep, I would go to bed at night. I would sleep for like, you know, whatever, the normal like 7, 8 hours. And then I would awake. And then I would go back to sleep for like another 6 hours. I've done that before. I've done that before too. If being sick counts. Yeah, being sick does count. I'll allow it because that's usually one of the reasons you slept. I've done like 27 hours waking up and passing out over and over. Ooh, a new record. New sleeping record. Like, I guess, yeah, if I slept for like, if I slept for like 7 hours or something and then woke up and slept another 6, that's like, I guess 13 hours? That's still only 13 hours though. We need to get these numbers up. We need to get our sleeping numbers up. But yeah, it's one of those things too, where like, I'll awake. I will awake, and then I'll be like, oh no, I overslept. And I'll tell somebody that I overslept, like my mom or my grandma or somebody. And then they'll be like, oh, well, I guess if you overslept, then you probably needed it. And I'm like, no, I did not need it. I did not need it. What I needed was to be awake and do things. I have too many things to do. I have no time to oversleep. I cannot be oversleeping. I have to be awake. Need to get the sleeping hours down. 6 is too much. Honestly, okay, I was complaining the other day to some friends. I was like, oh, like, I wish, like, I was, like, are you ever in the space with your job where you start to, like, fantasize about what you would do if you quit your job? And I was, like, I keep thinking, like, okay, so I would, like, wake up at this time, and then I would, like, do this, and I'd do this every day, and like, one of the things, like, I was talking, and Bodega was like, well, you can always just cut sleep and do some of them. And I'm like, Beba, I cannot cut sleep any more than I already am. If I cut any more sleep, I'm not going to have the energy to do literally any of the other things on the list, you know? I just got my internship, and I already want to quit. Oh, no. Yeah, because, like, for me, it's like, okay, if I quit my job, like, I feel like I would need to have some kind of, like, eggy improvement plan in place. Like, I need the eggy improvement plan in place so that, like, I don't just, like, you know, fall apart. Ah!
Baxter Crook just blew.
Yay!
Such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a slep.
With a slep. Thank you for sprouting, or thank you for blooming for 6 more months. I mean, thank you for sprouting for this long, but, like, thank you for blooming for 6 more months. Thank you. You can sleep when you're burnt out. We're closer than you think, Beba. We're closer than you think. Yeah. Bodega would be like sleeping us for the week, then passing out during her own ASMR. Slep. Beba committing Twitch crimes. You must be conscious in order to stream on Twitch. And good morning, Beba. But yeah, I think, like, I feel like I remember, like, making my list. I'm like, okay, so if I quit my job, like, eggy improvement plan would be, like, sleep at least 7 hours a night, or maybe just normal 7 hours. 7 hours is adequate, I think. Sleep 7 hours a night. Study more Japanese. Actually exercise, and, you know, and also probably, like, stream several times a week, and maybe, like, release, like, a cover a month. Like, I feel like that would be the eggy. That's the eggy. That would be the eggy improvement plan. You know, just keep doing that until I'm happy with the results, at which point I can start looking for a job again. Or if I run out of money. But yeah. Exercise. Yeah, I paid for, like, a gym, like the Y membership for this month, and I have not used it once. I did not use it once. Like, the first week of October I was busy, and then after that it was Thanksgiving, so I was away. And then after that I was busy with something else last weekend. And then this weekend I was just, like, absolutely exhausted. Like, you could not get any more movement out of me. So I just I have not used it at all. I haven't used it this month even once. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that after. It's ooh. But yeah. Ah! A hype train. Oh,
Azure shot just bloomed. Oh hi Awak Eggy.
oh hi, AWAC. 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 Thank you, Azure, for blooming for another month. Yeah, Unused Gym is truly the young adult experience. Well, yeah, it's like, it's in a convenient place. It's just like, I don't know. I remember a few weeks ago, my dad came to visit, and I was well, both my parents came to visit, and I was complaining to my mom about like a whack, about how I'm like, oh, I can't, I haven't been able to like lose weight because like time and energy, and like my dad is just like, well, you just need to be more disciplined, and I'm like I didn't say anything, but in my mind, I'm like, you have a 10-minute commute, and my mom makes all your meals, like. Yes, if the two biggest issues in my life, if my two biggest, like, you know, obstacles in my life were solved, I too could probably be a bit more disciplined, but this is clearly not the situation we are in right now. You know? Yeah, quit your job and dedicate your life to working out for like half a year. Honestly, like, I kind of want to quit my job and just like dedicate myself to like, you know, doing everything that I keep saying I want to do if I quit my job. And yeah, I think now I appreciate having time more. I appreciate my free time more. So I'm like, I feel like if I had a ton of free time again, I could actually appreciate it now instead of being like, ooh, there's so many hours in a day, ooh. You need to replace your commute with 6 hours of cycling per day. I mean, unless you can manage to make days like, you know, about 4 hours longer. Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't even bike to work even if I wanted to. Like, a significant chunk of my commute is on a highway, where it is illegal to ride a bicycle. And I don't think there's like other routes. I don't think other routes exist. Yeah. Head to the mountains and embrace a life of aesthetic martial arts training. Illegal what? Yeah, it's illegal. Well, because like highways people are driving at like 120 miles per hour, or not miles per hour, kilometers per hour. Like 100 to 120 kilometers per hour. So yeah, it is illegal to bike on a highway, even along the side. Because, again, safety reasons. Safety reasons. It's like, I don't know, part of me wants to like travel too, because I'm now in that conundrum that everybody I think hits at some point, where it's like, you know how you have like, you either have a lot of time or you have a lot of money, right? So like either you have money but like, you know, you're working all the time or you have no free time, or you have a lot of time but like zero income. And I feel like I've gone from one extreme to the other. Like I've gone from like lots of time, no money, to like more money, no time. So I'm like, part of me, I'm like, I want to travel, and I'm like, yeah, I have the money to do so, but also like, when is the question? The question is when. Yeah. I saw someone doing over 100 miles per hour yesterday. Yeah, to clarify, it's kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. Please do not drive 100 miles per hour. Yeah. But yeah, because of that, like, yeah, you can't ride bikes on the highway. And I don't think there's any other ways around to get from, like, where I am to where I need to go without a highway. I mean, there might be, like, side streets or something. But yeah, I don't think the biking situation is, like, amazing in this city either. Like, I frankly don't think I would feel safe biking even on, like, normal streets. Like, there are bike paths, but there's, like, absolutely nothing separating the bike path from the road. So, it's, like, it's basically just another lane. It's just another lane, and cars will, like, cut through it all the time. Book a room in a distant hospital to recover from your extreme exhaustion. It's, like, just eep. Just, you know, just slep. Just go to like an onsen resort in the mountains and just like do nothing but slep and take baths. Somebody said boop and it showed up on my OBS, but it's not showing up in my Twitch chat, which is extremely peculiar. Or maybe are you from YouTube? Oh, you're from YouTube. You're from YouTube. Okay, hold on. I need to like have multiple windows open because Restream doesn't show me both chats, and only my Twitch chat. Okay, hold on. Let me. Okay, so I got YouTube chat and I got Twitch chat here. Okay, so I'm just gonna be like rapidly looking back and forth like this. I'm sorry, YouTube chat, for ignoring you. Here we go. Drink coffee 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eat cheese 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Ideal schedule. How was oven food? Oh yeah, because of Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, it's been like... I haven't really get to catch up after Thanksgiving, did I? Boop. Okay, there we go. Twitch chat is the favorite chat. Look, okay. Everybody who streams on multi-platform has like a favorite. Intentionally or unintentionally. I'm sure there's a way on Restream to be able to see both. Hold on, let me see. Chat. Okay, can we move the chat to the other side of the screen? Okay. Okay, hold on, hold on. Oh, okay, so it can show both at once. Okay, it can show both at once. Chat overlay. Can I just want to be able to move chat. Can we like change the format so I can like actually see my chat? Because it's like the where it is on the screen is like right in the blind spot. Okay, maybe I'll move OBS over here. And then move... Here we go. I see everybody now. I see everybody now. Here we go. Apologies to YouTube. Yeah. Start a group of hot spring appreciators with your office coworkers. Call yourselves onsen zeros. What? Zeros. I mean, I guess I am onsen egg. I'm onsen tamago. But yeah. I'm thinking, yeah. Ones and zeros. I see. Okay. Thank you, Fuse Hunter. Thank you for sprouting. Were you coming from YouTube or were you coming from... I don't know where people are coming from anymore. I'm very confused. I'm very confused. Very confused. So I am Confucian. Here we go. Actually, hold on. I need to check the YouTube stream. Are you guys... How far behind are you guys? Because I know YouTube was having some issues with buffering. Okay. Never mind. You're good. You're good. You're doing better than I thought you were. We're all right. We're fine. We're fine. Everything is fine. We're all good. We're all good. Oh, you get a notification if I sub on YouTube. Yeah. I have it set up for both, I think. I don't have memberships open on YouTube. You can fix that by watching me more on YouTube, but I don't have memberships open on YouTube yet, so obviously you can't bloom on YouTube, but yeah, I think it still counts. I think it still counts the I have it set up for people who sprout. But yeah. Imagine sleeping or bathing. Imagine it's like having time to fulfill basic needs. It's so weird too, because lately, like on weekends, because during the week I pretty much just like roll out of bed and get directly on the bus, whereas on the weekend I have time to like, you know, straighten my hair and put on makeup and stuff, and I'm like, oh right, I look like an actual human, and then I immediately have to go back to being like rolled out of bed homunculus during the week again. I'm like, ooh. I used to be able to put makeup on the bus. But A, that wasn't very fun, but also now I can't even do it because the days are so short. Because it used to be I would bus and I would like put on makeup once the sun went up in the morning. But now it's like it's dark for like 80% of my commute. So I can't even put on makeup now because like by the time that the sun is actually like fully up to the degree that I can put on makeup, then it's gone. The bus ride is over. I'm already at work. SMH my head. Annoying. Eggy drink water? Okay. Here's the thing as well. Restream doesn't show me, it doesn't show me, points. It doesn't show me the points, the points redeems. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. It does not show me points redeems. I have to go back. So if I miss some, I'm sorry. It literally does not show me. Ah, thank you, Joxer, for sprouting. I don't know why it still shows the default noise because I'm pretty sure I also set that one to the good day tama. But I guess maybe if I have two different noises. If I have two different noises, maybe it tells me, like it can tell me if one is YouTube or Twitch. I guess that's nice to know. That's useful information. But yeah. I feel like I log in. Every stream I log on and it's like, complain. And that's it. I don't do anything else. Welcome to Eggy Complaints Chat, where we complain. We are complaining. I love the complaints. It's like we're changing just chatting. We're making a new category. It's just complaining. It's just complaining. Rantsona. Except it's not even about like any particular issue. It's just like complaining about my job. Rantsona about my job. Like I'm crossing my. You can't see it right now, but because it's like you can't see it. But like I'm crossing my arms. Eggplaints. Yeah, I'm crossing my arms and I'm like, well, the guy in the cubicle next to me has just like a naturally loud and intense demeanor, which means that every time he's talking on the phone, I have to hear him like shouting at high speeds about something that is not actually that interesting. Crossing arms, pouting. Look at this Hush Hush, he gets a cubicle. Oh, okay, technically I get like a half cubicle. They're like one of those cubicles where it's like half a cubicle, it's kind of like facing outward, and like it's my desk, and then I have a coworker's desk on the other side. The coworker is fine. He's not the loud one. He's not the loud one. It's the guy in the cubicle next to me. Honestly, okay, we need to reorganize our system of how they decide who gets an office and who gets a cubicle. I don't think this should be decided by job title. I think this needs to be decided by how loudly you talk on Microsoft Teams calls. Because, like, there's the rest of us, and then there's, like, two incredibly loud people who just, like if I think it should be illegal. I think they need a new company policy that like these two people should not be allowed to be in calls at the same time unless the call is with each other, in which case only one of them would be talking at the same time because they're both very loud. But yeah, like I don't know. Or put down the headset volume. Maybe, but he even talks like, even in person, he's just one of those people just has like a very like a naturally loud voice and a naturally intense demeanor. So even when he's talking in like normal conversations, it's still pretty loud. But it's when he's on the phone, I guess, when he can't hear himself. You could be my coworker. I either sleep inside of a warehouse or take a nap on the top of the radio tower in the middle of the woods. Just need someone to bring me a food bowl every few days. Make the long journey. Unfortunately, I cannot drive, so I think trying to make a long journey through the woods would be difficult. I do not have car license. But it is okay, because I live in the city. No truck, Eggy. Truckless. I'm truckless. I'm just truckless. I have no truck. No car. No vehicle. I can ride a vehicle, but somebody else has to be the one driving it. Can you link your YouTube? I don't see it in the About section. Oh, is it not there? It should be in the, that little bar at the bottom. I can link it though. Hold on, give me a second. View your channel. Oh, whoops, I just accidentally shut off the music. Here we go. It's back. Okay, where's Twitch chat? Here we go. That's the Eggy YouTube. That's the Eggy YouTube. All my covers go there, as well as occasional other streams. Occasionally. But yeah, I'm trying to test out restream because I do want to be able to like stream in two places at once. I just need to figure out how it works. Because I don't know. I think the thing is that like YouTube streaming is like very different than Twitch streaming, right? In the way that the setup works, which makes it a lot more difficult, right? Because like for YouTube streaming, it's like you have to, it works more like you're uploading a video that hasn't been made yet, if that makes sense, right? Because you gotta upload like the description, you gotta upload the thumbnail. Yeah, essentially it's like it's almost like you're premiering a video that's being made in real time, right? I mean, technically on YouTube, you can just press go live, but like then it just kind of randomly assigns you stuff, and that's probably not ideal. But on Twitch, it's like, yeah, you just press the button. You just press the button. You know, you can adjust the like categories and title and stuff, but you just press the button, and it's like, haha, you're live now. No further work needs to be done. So because there's such different systems, I'm still trying to figure out how to like, can I set up a stream ahead of time with restream without having that also go to Twitch? Or like, you know, if I just press the Twitch button, does that instantly like throw it back down into restream? I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. I'll have to do some more testing. Yeah. The fact that you can just press the button always makes me nervous whenever OBS is open. Yeah. I mean, personally, for my own personal comfort, if I after stream, OBS is like the first thing I close, right? So at least I'm just like, okay, whatever happens from here, at least I know for sure that it quite literally cannot be live. But on Twitch, I don't know. I think sometimes too, if I'm in like a Discord call or something, I always like double check to make sure I don't have OBS open too. Because that's like my other big stress is like someday I'm gonna like accidentally like stream a Discord call that was supposed to be private. Yeah, YouTube is so much better simply because I can rewind. I think that's a feature that you can turn on and off. I think YouTube automatically turns it on now, but I know that like there's been some people who have been running into issues, like especially in companies where the companies are like, yeah, we kind of don't want people to be able to just rewind in case something happens. But yeah, I mean, it is a nice feature. It is a nice feature if you come in late. Haha, little do you know, I've broadcast all our calls. Oh no, they're gonna know the very scandalous secrets we discuss. They're gonna know all our, I don't know. What very scandalous things do we discuss? They're gonna know all the mean things that one of us has said about other people, and the other one just kind of stood there and nodded. Scandalous eggplant secrets. Scandalous. We're leaking all the buds and the eggplant secrets. We're leaking them to each other in real time. We discuss food and outfits. Yes. Ah, Mush Mush. Moth Mellows. Welcome. I'm just yapping. I was supposed to stream Majora's Mask today, and then I overslept. So now I guess I'm just continuing to be sleeping. We're here for s'more fun. Yay! Tasty s'mores. Tasty s'mores. I don't know. I had s'mores, it was actually last month. I went on like a little weekend trip to, it wasn't really a cottage. I guess it was kind of a cottage. It was just like an Airbnb that was near a lake. But we had a fire pit when we were there. So I made s'mores. And I realized I'm bad at making s'mores because I'm too impatient with roasting my marshmallows. Randomizer? No, just normal Majora's Mask because I have never played it before. But yeah. I was supposed to get back to it. I was streaming it, like, the past few weeks, and then I stopped for a while because I was busy, and I was supposed to be back today, and then, slept. Yeah. Majora's Mask Randomizer is so good. Look, okay, I need to beat it normally. I need to beat it, like, whatever the opposite of random is. I need to beat Majora's Mask predetermined first. You know? Congratulations, you receive 100 messages today with Restream chat. Thanks, Restream. I didn't realize there was, like, goals. Didn't realize I needed to, like, min-max my streaming. Majora's Mask will be finished by the end of 2025. Well, look, okay, how many temples are there? Oh, thank you, Oddbob92. Thank you for sprouting. Yeah, how many temples are there? Because I know I've finished 2. I've finished the, what was it, the one in the woods, the one in the swamp? I think 12? 12? Because I finished the one in the swamp. And then I finished the Goron one. There can't possibly be 12. About 50. Every time someone adds something, they just like the number doubles. After you do randomizers, Kino for stream, so fun. Okay, I will think about it. I know I've seen other people do it. But yeah. I was stuck behind an ad. Are you playing Majora today? God, I wish. I was supposed to, and then I overslept. And I guess that's not happening. Because, like, the thing is that, like, if I do Majora, right, I don't want to just, like... I want to be able to do it for, like, a long enough amount of time to do stuff. Because I know if I did it today, I would be like, okay, well, I guess I'll just play this for, like, an hour, and then it's done, you know? 4 main dungeons. Okay. Okay, and then there's a bunch of, like, side stuff. Okay, so I'm about halfway then, right? Unless you're also lying. Unless somebody else is lying. Oh, thank you, Moth Lobster. Thank you for spreading. Egg. I am egg. Okay, I looked it up. Okay, good. But what if your source is wrong? What if your source is lying? Okay, approaching the halfway point. Okay. It really is 4. Okay, yeah, because, like, usually Zelda games don't have, at least, like, the older ones, they don't have more than, like, 4 to 6, like, dungeons, right? Plus additional stuff, right? Like, games in those days could only be so big, right? I think the other reason I didn't want to game today, too, and this is going to sound like a really dumb reason, but I feel really debuffed, because, so I went out yesterday, right? And when I went out, I decided to put on, like, those, like, the plastic, like, press-on nails. So I have them on still, because, like, I didn't want to, like, take them off too early, because that can, like, damage them. But the problem is that I feel supremely debuffed, because these ones are longer. These are longer nails. My nails are, like, twice as long as they usually are. I feel supremely debuffed. I was even trying to type today. I was trying to, like, type, like, to get the stream started and type in the title and stuff, and I was like, it was just like, oops, all misinputs. Like, I think if I tried to play today, like, again, I know that, like, gaming with long nails is, like, a skill you can develop, but, like, I feel like I was, like, I feel like this would not be my best gaming day if I try to game with these nails on. Yeah. Ocarina of Time was huge, too, and it had, like, 8. Ah, well, wasn't it, like, I remember reading somewhere that, like, Majora's Mask was made, like, extremely, well, like, not extremely, but, like, very quickly compared to the other games, which is why it's, like, made out of, like, mostly Ocarina of Time assets, and, like, it's a smaller game, apparently, compared to, like, Ocarina. Yeah. 3 chatters puzzle. One always tells the truth, one always lies, and the other one only posts wigglies. Before you, there are 2 eggplants. Yeah, Majora's Mask is like a 24-hour game to beat. Yeah, better get started. Well, okay, I'm already like at least 6 to 8 hours in, you know? Maybe more, probably more, almost certainly more. Yeah. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask were rushed and shortened, sadly, but still very good. It's so weird to say that it's like, oh, they were rushed, and it's like, aren't they considered like the best games in the series? Aren't they considered, like, the games that are, like, representative of the series, upon which everything else was kind of built around? But, yeah. The point is, no Majora, I have to postpone it by another week. Ah! I need to decide what to do this week, too, because I'm like, I need to get back to streaming, because I can't just keep doing this thing where I get back from work, and I'm like, I'm too tired, and then I, like, don't do anything. But, like, also I'm tired. But yeah, what is happening this week? Like, oh, this week is Halloween. You know what's sad? I was asking my grandma, I'm like, oh yeah, do you get, like any trick-or-treaters? Because I thought, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll spend Halloween, like, giving out candy. And she's like, no, not really. Because apparently there's, like, not a lot of children who live in the area. And the ones that do live in the area just seem to, like, go trick-or-treating somewhere else, or just don't go trick-or-treating. And I'm like, okay, well, that's depressing. That's depressing. What do people, I have to ask at work, I'm like, do people, I don't imagine, this doesn't seem like the kind of workplace with the kind of people who come in dressed for Halloween. But I'm just like, man, like, what do you do for Halloween as an adult, aside from, like, I don't know, go to parties? But, like, that's, I don't know, you can go to parties any time of year. I know when I went out yesterday, when I was going home, it was, like, kind of getting late in the evening, and I saw people around with, like, Halloween costumes. They're very clearly going to parties, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, trunk or treat is the main thing now. It's kind of sad as long as the kids are having fun. Trunk or treat, I think I've complained about this. I think this came up a few weeks ago. Trunk or treat is, like, the most depressing concept to me. Like, yeah, but these parties have costumes. I don't know. I just, like, look at people and I'm like, the club is open almost every day of the year. Like, surely there must be something, I guess maybe costumes make it unique, but, like, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to a party, sometimes some people get, like, go all in, but I feel like some people are just like, here's my regular clothes, but now I have a pair of bunny ears on. I get to set a spooky Zoom background at work. I don't know. Maybe I'll show up in a Halloween costume anyway. But, like, also I've done that before. There has been times where I've been the only person to be in a Halloween costume in a place, and it's, like, kind of depressing as well. Yeah. I was surprised when I went to the B&B and the employees were dressed up for Halloween. Well, I mean, some places I've worked at kind of encourage it. Like, especially places that are, like, supposed to be, like, kid-friendly or, like, family-oriented. They will, like, actively encourage you to dress up for Halloween, which is fun. Other jobs, they're like, you know, if you want to, you can, you know, wear something subtle. Like, they'll be like, you can wear, like, you know, your normal work clothes, but, like, you know, put on, like, a witch hat. Or, like, you know, cat ears or something. Like, something that's, like, very, you know, costume adjacent. Like, you can be spooky, but not, like, a full-on costume. But then, I don't know, there's other jobs I've had where it's like, oh, no, nobody, well, I mean, you can't, there's nothing stopping you from wearing a costume, but nobody actually does it. Wear a witch hat large enough to not fit through doors. Giant brim. Very tall hat. You're the only person who knows how to have fun. Yeah, it's like, well, I don't know. Again, we need to like reinvent Halloween for adults, because there's gotta be more things we can do than just like the regular drinking and partying, but like in a costume. There's gotta be something new we can come up with. Yeah. The kids at the church I work at were all dressed up today. Yeah. Well, again, when you're working with children, like, I imagine if you're like a teacher, everyone wears Halloween costumes because, like, you know, you're working in a school. But, like, I guess it depends. Because, again, when I was in spa school, it was at a college, and everybody there dressed up, except for people in my program, it seems. And then I went to university, and nobody dressed up. At all. Nobody at all. The twins were both Elsa, as is expected. I don't know. I'm like, I guess Halloween. I mean, I guess I didn't do much for Halloween either last year. Well, last year, I don't know. I gave out candy. The year before, in Japan, I don't think I did anything. But I think I was just, like, exhausted that day. I was like, maybe I'll go out tonight, and then I just, like, fell asleep. But yeah, I think I complained about this before. Like, I think trick-or-treating should be for all ages as long as everyone's doing it fairly, you know? As long as people aren't, like, trying to, like, outdo the children, I think everyone should be allowed to trick-or-treat. And people who give out candy should give it out to everybody. Everybody, as long as they're, you know, playing by the rules of, like, step 1, wear a costume, step 2, be nice. As long as they're following those, I think everyone should be allowed to trick-or-treat. Like, it's fun because trick-or-treating is fun. It's literally just asking people for candy. It's like the only night of the year where you're like explicitly allowed to ask people for candy, you know? Trick-or-treat, but you get money instead. Well, okay. No, it has to be candy, because if it's money, it's not fun. Oh, thank you. That a toasty? 434, thank you for spreading. You go beers and White Claws to parents. I've heard of some houses doing that. I've heard of some places having like, or like I've heard of some people having like those like prepackaged shots that they'll give out to parents. I've definitely heard of that. But yeah. I babysat just October, so I kind of excuse to trick-or-treat. 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 The trick is burning down the house. It's called racketeering. What? But yeah. I don't know. I tried trick-or-treating when I was just like 14 and a bunch of people just told me to go away. Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't get that. Again, as long as you are, you know, following the rules, I think you should, like, I don't know. I don't understand people. Because, like, here's the thing, especially for teenagers, is like, if you don't want your teenagers trick-or-treating, what would you rather them doing? Right? I feel like it's another case of like, people just want teenagers to like be frozen in ice for, you know, the like 5 years or something that they're in high school, and then just like instantly thaw out and go to college. Because it's like, okay, so if you're too old to trick-or-treat, you can't go trick-or-treating. But like, when teenagers do like Halloween parties and stuff, then people get mad. People are like, oh, they're doing debauchery and misconduct, and we can't allow that. So like, do you have a third option? Have we come up with a third option? Or do you want them to just, you know, sit there and stare into space until they're 18? Mischief night. Yeah, it's like, I guess maybe teenagers could be the ones giving out candy, but like a lot of the time the parents tend to take that over. So it's like, okay, I guess teenagers will just not, they just can't do anything. If you are above the age of 14 and under the age of 19, then you should just sit there and stare into space. Send all teenagers to boarding schools, tell them it's a Harry Potter experience, then you can ruin them for society until they're no longer annoying to deal with. Yeah, but like, you say that as if that wouldn't make everyone even more annoying to deal with, you know? Like, imagine, like, you know, you send the teenagers away and they have not interacted with anyone older or younger than them for 4 years that are, like, 4 very important developmental years. And then they come back and it's like, oh no, how do we get them back into society where there are old people and there are young people? It's like... VTuber, can you say anti-disestablishmentarianism? Yes. Easy. Easy. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I feel like we have to figure out how to get teenagers back into society, because everyone's like, we don't know what to do with them. We don't know what to do with them. Because, like, it's the same with so many other things, too. It's like, you can't do things for children, because then people are like, grow up. Grow up. And then you can't do things for adults, because people are like, oh, that's dangerous, that's risky, you shouldn't do that. It's like, okay, well, I guess we'll just do nothing. Yeah, I go over the top with Halloween, with house decorations. We get a lot of teens trick-or-treating, and I get the whole candy bar so they don't vandalize my house. Are they holding you hostage or something? Are they holding you hostage? I don't know. I don't even know if I've seen a lot of people in this neighborhood, like, decorate their houses. I've definitely seen it in other neighborhoods. But yeah, like, I don't know. My job is boring too. They don't even decorate the office. They don't even put up, like, a little sign that's like, Happy Halloween, or, like, you know, put up a little, like, garland. Like a little, like, you know, one of those, like, bats on a string, and nothing. Nothing. I'm wondering too, like, are they gonna do anything for the holidays? Like, are we gonna get, like at least, like, a little tree in the office? Or is it just gonna be more plain white walls? Can we please, or even like, even if you're like, oh, we don't want to like, you know, single out Christmas, like, you can just do like a multi-holiday decoration, you know? Or are we just gonna, we're just gonna keep going with the plain white walls? Okay. Give people public places to be and maintain them. Fun for everyone. Yeah, it's like, let people go outside. I don't know, that's something that I think about because it's like, you know how people lately now, I'm on the fence about this because I see people online who are like, parents should really be heavily supervising their children's online activity. And I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, okay, understandable. There are lots of things on the internet that, you know, people should not show children, right? Lots of things that children should not have to witness on the internet. Lots of people on the internet who should probably not be talking to children. On the other hand, I'm like, isn't over supervision how we've gotten to this problem to begin with? Like, the children were like, you know, always supervised by their parents, so they went to the internet where the supervision was minimal, and now they're getting into themselves into problems. I'm like, is this not how we got into this problem to begin with? No candy bowls on desks? Not a single one. Okay, actually, to be fair, they actually brought in candy the other day. Like, my manager went out and bought a bunch of, like, you know, little chocolate bars and chips and stuff. But they were, like, in normal bowls. The bowls were normal. Nice eggies. Cool. Thank you, Superfanbot, which is probably a bot. And I can tell because you spelled it with a you capitalized the first letter. And hello, Iron Saint. I see you. I acknowledge you. Thank you for lurking. Children should not be allowed on the internet, only for their safety. I also never want to see a 14-year-old's opinion on anything ever. Unfortunately, it's like, I don't know. It's like the two-edged sword, right? Where it's like, on one hand, yes, 14-year-olds often have terrible opinions. On the other hand, unfortunately, everybody was 14 at some point. And, like, you know, we need our 14-year-olds to have opinions. Even if they're bad opinions, we need them to have opinions now so that they'll learn how to have opinions later and maybe have better opinions. Like, I think the main thing on the internet, I think that throws people off as well, is that, like, you know, if you were like having a conversation in real life with a person and they had a terrible opinion, but you could see that they were, like, you know, physically 14, like they're just very clearly a child, like, that's one thing, right? I think what throws people off online is that you'll see a terrible opinion and you'll be like, that's a terrible opinion. And then you'll, like, won't know the person's age unless either they tell you or, like, they have it listed somewhere. Like, sometimes you go to the profile and it's like, oh, 14, and you're like, okay. But then sometimes they don't have the age in the bio or whatever, so, like, you have no way of knowing, right? You're like, and sometimes you get jump scared too. Sometimes you see, like, an opinion, you're like, this is a very teenager opinion to have, and then the person, you look in the bio and the person's like 32. But yeah. People do not learn ever how to have better opinions. Well, I don't know. It's not always about having better opinions. It's also about, like, because do you ever see something online where you're like, I agree with this. I would not have chosen to express it that way. You know, it's not always about having opinions. It's like, how do you word those opinions so that it comes across in the way you want it to come across, you know? It's a balance. You can supervise what your kids do without being a helicopter parent. Filter less and less as they get older and be firm about how to conduct yourself online and be safe. But it's hard to navigate even for tech-savvy adults. I think that's the other thing, too, is that, like, I think we're getting towards the end of the generation of people who had zero internet growing up. Like, you know, the millennials who are, you know, 30-something and are probably starting to have children now, for the few that can, like, they grew up, they know how the internet works for the most part, to a certain extent, right? Maybe not, like, exactly as it is now, but they have some familiarity with it. So I feel like it might be a problem that will solve itself a bit over time. Because I think a lot of us grew up with parents who do not know what an internet is. Yay, I made it to the Eggy stream. Welcome to Eggy stream. But, yeah, it's hard to say. Because, like, there wasn't really anything like the internet, right? Like, I feel like the only things that I think of as a kid that was like related to the internet that was like discussed with any degree of like, how do I say this? Any degree of like accuracy were things that were like similar enough to things that existed already, right? Because I remember when I was a kid, it was like, don't believe everything you read online. It's like, because at the time, you know, what you were reading online wasn't so different from stuff you could read in real life, right? Whereas now it's like completely different. Nothing is the same. Like, there's nothing you can compare to Twitter. There's no equivalent. There's no like real life equivalent to Twitter, right? It just doesn't. Eggy is epi. Yeah, I overslept. Overslepping. Thank God, no need IRL Twitter. What would IRL Twitter even be? It's just like a building that you enter and you just like yell your opinions at people and then whoever disagrees with you yells back. Or you like show everyone like a picture, you're like, here's some art I drew. And then a bunch of people just like look at you and just like give you a thumbs up. Bathroom graffiti was the closest to Twitter, I guess, but like usually bathroom graffiti wasn't saying, like, nobody was trying to say anything of like huge importance with bathroom graffiti, right? A lot of the time it's just like, so-and-so was here, or like, I hate this person, or I love this person. Like, they were pretty simple thoughts, right? I watched a documentary a few months back about the internet revolution in the 90s as well to see how people thought about the web then versus how it is now. Well, I think one of the things is like, I think it's become more divorced from reality, not in like the sense of like people are insane, but like in the sense of like, I feel like when you look at older internet stuff, a lot of it was trying to replicate certain real life interactions, right? So they're like, here's a chat room. It's like, you know, it's like chatting in real life, but it's over text, right? You know, so it's like similar enough to something that you already do in real life. Or it'll be like, here's, you know how they used to call it like your wall on Facebook? In the idea that it was supposed to be like, you know, like here's a wall where people can leave messages in the same way that you might have like a cork board or something in real life, right? So I think as things have moved on, like a lot of it really is like, you know, there is no real life equivalent to Twitter, right? There is no real life equivalent. Well, I guess watching movies, but like, you know, there is nothing like social media in real life. It's just kind of its own complete separate thing, right? Yeah, there was public access television and talk radio. I guess, oh yeah, that would be sort of like YouTube, I guess. Yeah. Telegraphy? Oh, like telegraphs. But yeah, I miss when the internet was just a bunch of people posting stuff about their obscure hobbies. It can still be. I mean, there's still a lot of people. The hobbies have only gotten more obscure, I think. Like, I don't know, is VTubing an obscure hobby, do you think? Because, like, on one hand, it's very popular. Like, you know, popular VTubers have, like, millions of subscribers and, like, you know, are getting brand deals and stuff. But on the other hand, I'm also just like, it's pretty niche. Like, it's a niche of several million people, but it's still a niche, right? Like, it's not mainstream, I don't think. I wouldn't say, like, because even I think about this, I have to maintain perspective, right? It's like a subset of the anime niche. I guess, yeah, that's true. Because I think about, like, when it comes to VTubers, like, I think of the biggest VTubers I can think of, you know, like, someone like Gura or Iron Mouse, and I'm like, okay, these are the biggest VTubers. This is the ceiling of VTubing as of now, and it's, you know, consistently going up, but this is the ceiling of VTubing. But then I'm also just like, if I ask like my coworker, like, have you ever heard of Iron Mouse? I'm not sure I would get a yes from anybody, you know? Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess streaming versus watching. I'm putting them both into the same category because, like, there are very few people who stream but don't watch, right? Like, the idea of somebody who is a VTuber but does not watch any other VTubers, I feel like that's it's very rare, right? Like, most people who become streamers are fans. Hey, coworkers, have you seen The Great Game last weekend? Yeah. Sorry to bring other streamer names into chat, but IronMouse is the biggest YouTuber on Twitch. But when she overtook Kaisen at sub-records, the internet was confused as to who she is. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's big, but it's niche, you know? I feel like it is, when I talk to, like, I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like it's niche enough as well that, like, you know, my parents know what anime is. Most people who are, like, older, I feel like I talk to, like, they know that anime is, like, animation from Japan. You know, they don't know much about it, but they know at least that much, right? But VTubing, it's like, there's like 8 levels of things. There's like 8 levels of stuff that you have to get through before you can get to VTubing, right? Like, even trying to explain it to my parents, it's like, okay, so they have to know what anime is, because it's you know, most VTubing is kind of anime styled, or at least targeting anime viewers. But then you also need to know what Twitch streaming is. And for that, you need to know about, like, internet live streaming of video games in general. Like, I feel like there's, like, 8 steps of stuff that we have to get to before you even get to VTubers, right? Like, you know, you can't go straight to, like, who is Calliope Mori? You gotta take, like, a detour through, like, who is Germa? Who is Markiplier? What is a Let's Play? Like, I feel like that's, like, you gotta take a full detour to get people to VTubing. Yeah. Me asking my coworkers about Bloom's baseball tournament. Yeah! I was in it, but I also missed it because I was out yesterday. I'll have to, like, check the VOD. I was, like, skipping through it, but I didn't get to the end, so I didn't see who won. Yeah. VTubing is a 12-step program. Yeah. Alright, Grandpa, time to learn about HoloLive. It's like, oh boy, let's pull out a slideshow. Yeah. It seems crazy to me, though, that there are people that, like, hate anime but will watch VTuber. Well, the thing is, like, VTubers, they can be anime, but we're not inherently anime, right? Like, it's not... I think the bigger it grows, the more it's going to detach itself from anime, right? Because I feel like you're already, like, you know, VTubers that aren't anime-styled is not new. But, like, you know... VTubers are first and foremost people. Yeah, we're like the same as any other YouTuber. It's just that we, like, have a specific look to us, you know? Yeah, VTubers that dislike anime is a weird niche. The only way I could see it being weird, though, is that, like, if somebody has an anime-style, like, you know, their live 2D model, their 3D model is, like, anime-style, but they, like, explicitly state that they hate anime, that's weird. That's, like, okay, weird choice. But, like, if someone is, like, you know, cartoon-style, and they're like, you know, I don't care for anime. I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Reminds me of one of my friends, Jeff, was like, he just watches people play video games on the internet. I don't know. Look at these guys just watching people play football instead of playing football themselves. Like, I mean... I remember telling my dad about streaming, and he's like, so you just, like, talk while playing games? I'm like, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. He's like, I could do that. And it's like, okay, you're welcome to try. You're welcome to give it an attempt. Like, anyone can stream, and that, like, you know, if you have a computer that can run OBS and a game at the same time, you can live stream, but, like, are you going to be good at it? That's a different question. Yeah. I've seen VTubers who dislike anime, but funnily enough, they have nothing else going for them. Well, yeah, I guess it's one of those things where it's like... I also think there's a difference between, like, disliking anime and hating anime. Because, like, there's definitely people I've met who are like, you know, I don't care much for anime. Not in that, like, there's anything inherently wrong with it, but just in that, like, I've never watched an anime that I've enjoyed. And it's like, okay, that's fair. Like, you know, not everything's for everybody. But if there's people who are, like, against anime, like, as a concept, then that I'm like, honestly, I find that just a little odd, right? Even honestly, just in general, like, people who are like, I hate anime, everything about it. It's like, have you tried watching a different anime? I think some people just dislike anime based on, like, like the surface level stuff. Like they only watch, like they'll look at like, you know, shonen or like popular isekai fantasy of the day and they'll be like, I don't like this. And like they just don't go further than the surface. Cause like I guarantee that for every person on Earth, there is like at least one anime that they would like thoroughly enjoy. And it's like, you're gonna have to find it. You know, some people will be pleased by the stuff that is easy to find. For some people, you're gonna have to hunt a little harder. Yeah. Eggy Dad would probably be fine. I'm not sure. Even just talking while playing a game. Like, not even being entertaining, but like speaking while gaming, I think is already a skill that like kind of has to be developed. Eggy wanting more people to read shoujo so he can talk about shoujo more often. Secret plan. But yeah, there's a lot of popular stuff that's very sexual in a way that's off-putting to normies. I made a mistake of showing Ghost in the Shell to my mom. Yeah, well, I think it's also unclear over time, I think. Like, what exactly is off-putting to people? Because I feel like there's definitely things that are, like, super popular, even with people who don't watch a lot of anime, that in my mind I'm like, is there nothing off-putting in there? Like, I thought you would have gotten thrown off by something, and people are like, no. But then there's other things that I'm like, I think are normal, and then you show them to someone else, and they're like, what is wrong with you? Yeah. Person that is very vocal about hating all anime except Cowboy Bebop. Honestly, that is definitely a type of guy. It's definitely a type of guy that exists. But I guess for some people, maybe it's just because, like, they didn't grow up, like, or they grew up with the concept of, like, animation is for kids, so they never really took it seriously. So, like, the idea of, like, having a serious story for grown-ups that's being told with animation, I guess probably... I mean, it's not an insurmountable obstacle, but it's definitely something to get used to, right? My mom knows about Digimon Tamer. She really likes the song. I don't know. I want to show my mom Spy Family. I feel like my mom would like Spy Family. And also Great Pretender. I think my mom would really like Great Pretender. But, like, again, it's just, like, getting her to sit down and watch a show that's like, yes, this is animation, but it's for adults. Like, that's the hard part, I think. Yeah. Ghost in the Shell has lots of nudity and violence in the first 2 minutes. I think maybe also it's the double standard of, like, animated nudity versus, like, live-action nudity. Because, like, I've definitely seen people who get thrown off by, like, nudity in anime, even when it's not, like, especially sexualized, but will be completely fine with nudity in live-action movies. Which is, like, a weird double standard, because it's like, you know, it's the same body here. But, yeah, I guess, like, just the difference there. Of, like, you know, these people are undressed versus somebody had to actually draw this person's naked body. But yeah, Spy Family has strong normie appeal. Yeah, like, there's a reason why it's popular. But, like... yeah, my mom likes, like, maybe not like spy movies, but she likes, like, I guess, like, thrillers and mystery stuff. Again, I've been trying to get her to play Ace Attorney for years, but that's, like, an even bigger obstacle, I think. All isekais have adapted now. They all have Spy Family elements. Well, okay, if the Spy Family elements we're talking about are, like, having a small child with you, that's different than, like, having, you know... spy. Because it's not just... the thing with Spy Family is that they balance pretty well between the spy and the family, right? Like, yeah, there is a family, but, like, the spy stuff is also, like, there is actual lore, and there is actual, like, you know, there is an actual, like, spy plot going on there. Like, they don't skimp out on the spy just to focus on the family, you know? I got my mom to watch Millennium Actress and made basically no impression. She forgot it a week later. Oh, well. There was an attempt. There was an attempt. Yeah. Shout out to Rave Master, a show I had to explain to my fairy tale friends actually existed. What is this show? I've never heard of this. Yeah. The amount of got isekai and now I have to take care of this children in the last and current season is amazing. It's like the family. We're in the, like, the family anime arc. Not anime for families, but anime about families. Yeah, I watched Spy Family because of the family aspect. I mean, some people do... that is kind of what draws people in, because Anya is cute, but, like, you'd think, like, for this premise that they would have kind of the permission to, you know, just kind of make up the spy part as they go. But no, like there is an actual like spy plot. Like they I think I remember reading like the Spy Family mangaka before doing Spy Family, like their previous work was like a lot more like darker and a little edgy, not edgier, but like significantly darker and more mature. And I think that kind of, they still bring that to Spy Family. Like the spy part is still, again, it's like there is actual plot and an actual like intrigue and actual like, it's there. It's there. Rave Master is what the author of Fairy Tale wrote before Fairy Tale. Please tell me it's about actual raving. like, you know, dancing, like partying. Yeah. It feels like the Japanese government might have hinted to publishers to please do more romance plots that actually pay off beyond confession in the last chapter. Okay. I know everyone likes to have their like theories about like Japanese government trying to use anime to make people have babies. Personally, I don't believe that that's happening in any substantial capacity. Because, like, sadly it's not. It's the cross symbol. Sadly, it is not. Not about partying. Not about a guy who gets, like, really good at planning raves. Yeah. So I should try, like, so Eggy's paid off too. No! Okay, here's the thing. If the government is trying to get people to have children, why would they target the demographic of like otaku, who are kind of known for not socializing with the opposite sex? That feels like the least efficient way to go about it. Which, to be fair, it's not like most governments who have this issue are going about this in the most efficient way. But like, I can see it happening, it just doesn't help raise the birth rate. Well, the thing is, okay, in my mind, like, wouldn't it make more sense to target people who are already, like, doing well in life? Like, people who have, how do I say this? I don't want to say normies, but, like, yeah, why are you trying to target the demographic least likely to have a kid? Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is that, like, with anime, yes, you can kind of glorify, like, having a family, right? You can be like, isn't this a thing you want? Isn't this a thing that's desirable? But, like, if it's not, like, it's one thing, because I feel like, you know, most people, maybe not everybody, but, like, a significant number of people want to have, like, you know, a happy marriage and a happy family with children. I feel like a significant amount of people want that. It's just that there's, like, you know, a significant amount of obstacles there, right? But, yeah, if they're trying to, like, target the people who are, like, haven't even hit step one of that, like, that feels like the least efficient way to go about it. Wouldn't it make more sense to, like, target the people who are already, like, married or at least in relationships or want to be in relationships or in the process of trying to find a relationship and trying to target them instead? Like, to me, it makes no sense to just target, yeah, children in this economy. Exactly, like, children in this economy is the, like, that, this economy tends to be the issue. But that seems to be what, like, every country is running into. They're like, what if we, like, made this big campaign to encourage people to have children? And it's like, well, have you tried just paying them more? Have you tried paying them more? Have you tried paying them more money or having them work a little less so they have time to raise their children? Because, like, I feel like it's kind of the same in all countries that are struggling with birth rate, right? Like, not just Japan, because people like to be like, oh, Japan, work culture, but, like, in the States, they're kind of having the same problem, right? And in Canada, and in, like, most, like, highly developed countries, everyone's, like, yeah, of course nobody's having children, because, like, nobody can, you know, feel comfortable economically to be like, yes, I can take on another person to feed. Yeah. They don't want to address this economy part, though in Japan it's probably long work hours. I mean, I think the government, I believe, has to try to, like, address long work hours, and I know some individual companies have done that as well. But yeah, it is kind of just still, like, this economy, right? Like, you can't just take money out of pensions and give it to young people who actually need the money. It's like, well, also too, it has to be enough money, right? Because I think in Japan they also tried a thing where they're like, if you have children, we will send you like X number of yen every month until the kid is a certain age. But obviously that didn't work because it was not a very big amount of money, you know? Like, if the idea is that, like, if the idea is like, okay, we will send you enough money so that, like, only one parent in the household has to work, you're going to need to send a lot more money, you know? Yeah. Yeah, society and its priorities changing. Yeah, I think it's also, yeah, like, I feel like a lot of people my age that I know of, like, I'm trying to think of, like, if I know anybody who's like, yeah, I want children. I think it's just like, how do I say this? We're very tired. Like, even if I had children, hold on, give me a second to process my thoughts. The Eggy is loading. The Eggy is buffering. Break time is over. Bye, Eggy. Bye. Bye, Boothberry. Enjoy the rest of your day. We are very tired. Yes, I say as I am in my bed. No, it's more just like, even for people who have like a stable career and for people who have enough money and enough time, it's like, do I feel emotionally mature enough to have a child? Because I think a lot of us can think of like, or like everyone knows someone who's like, their parents had children when they probably should have had children, and it just kind of like, I guess it's the emotional readiness. A lot of us don't feel like we have the emotional readiness for it. I barely have the energy to cook food and play Zelda. Exactly. It's like if I think about, like, okay, if I had my current job, if I had a kid, I simply could not. Like, it could not happen. It would be impossible. Even if I were, like, married and had somebody else, I'm assuming whoever I married would also have a job. Like, the idea of, like, I guess everyone wants to be able to do it right. I think that's the thing with a lot of people, like, my age, I think, is if most people are like, okay, if I had a kid, I would want to, do it right. And it's not just, like, that's not something money can entirely fix. Like, money can fix a lot of it, but, like, emotionally and mentally and such, we want to do it right, We don't want to, like, yeah. If you need to care for isekai child tomorrow, what do? Well, presumably if I'm isekai'd, I'm no longer currently working my current position. I'm assuming, depending on how I get isekai'd. Because if I'm dead, then I'm dead. But, like, if I'm isekai'd, like, through a portal or something, I'm no longer on Earth and can no longer work at job company, Yeah. If you had a kid, you'd still have forewarning, and pregnancy also has a medical component. Yeah, okay, to be fair, that's the other thing, too. Because I feel like I'm not opposed... How do I say this? I'm not opposed to having a child if I had the, good circumstances for it. I feel very opposed to the idea of having to actually give birth to a child, Those are two separate things, right? Because it's like... having a child is one thing, but, like, physically having the child and, like, growing it out of your own body, that's the part that I'm like, Yeah, isekai child, yeah, pregnancy is legit so scary. Yeah, I think people underestimate that. People underestimate that. I feel like the other thing, like, with pregnancy, it's like, I feel like there's so many things that we have to just straight up, like, lie by omission about. Otherwise, nobody would ever have children. Like, did Canada have a big program trying to discourage teen pregnancy too? Yes. Well, I think there was probably, but it was a bit before my time. But yeah, I definitely remember as a kid, like, that was, like, a big component of health class, is, like, warning you about teenage pregnancy. But yeah, it's like, there's so many things with pregnancy, because there's things you know about, right? Like, everyone talks about, like, morning sickness, or, like, weird cravings, or, like, being tired, or, like, being uncomfortable. Everybody like is kind of mentally prepared for that. But every so often I'll like read about something that someone's like, "Hey, did you know that like pregnancy can also make you like have like congested nose?" Because apparently that can happen too. Or like, "Did you know that like pregnancy can cause your teeth to start like getting weaker?" Apparently that can happen too. There's just like so many random things that like nobody tells you about, and someone has to like announce it to you. And it's like nothing about that sounds appealing. Like, and then also like, you know, you go through that and then you have the baby, which is, you know, a long and painful process. And now you also have to take care of the baby. Like, you don't get a single break. Like, it's like a whole year without a break. You know? You go from being like uncomfortable to being in pain to being exhausted. And it's like, oh, like, yeah, you gotta, yeah. Make girls scared of being pregnant and have the population drop is reaping what you said. Well, it's like, I don't know. I guess it's like another problem where people think of teenagers as being like a separate beast from like people who will eventually become adults. Like if you scare teenagers into not having children, they're not just going to forget that the moment they become adults, you know? Like, it's the same brain, you know? The brain's a bit more developed, but it's, you know, kind of the same brain, you know? But yeah. The human body has some weird design decisions, like the optic nerve being in front of the part that sees. Honestly, the human body is full of... It's a terrible design. Like, why is the breathing hole... Like, the breathing tube and the eating tube is, like, the same tube. And, you know, if food gets stuck in there, then you stop breathing and you die. But also you can't just not eat because the body needs food or you die. So, like, you just gotta, like, risk it every single time, which I think is, you know, just a terrible way to go about things. Like... Yeah, being able to hire nannies would be a good way to alleviate problems. Well, I don't know. I know there's been, like, studies, too, about, like, you know, nuclear family versus, like, you know, family where the extended family is more involved. Because, like, yeah, if it's just, like, you and your husband or whoever you married, then it's like, okay, that's a lot more pressure than if it's, like, you know, you and your husband and your mom and dad, maybe, like, you know, your brother or sister, or, like, yeah. It's more than a year. That's true. But it's like at least a year, right? Because it's like 9 months plus, you know, and I guess until the baby stops breastfeeding. Yeah. We don't have the social networks and medical standards in place to make the child making process smooth for everyone. Yeah, well, the thing is like, even in like situations where everything is super smooth, like you have like the best healthcare, it's still uncomfortable and painful, right? Even in the best of times. Even like the easiest pregnancies, I feel, are probably still have some element of just like torture and body horror to them, you know? Yeah. This feels similar to smaller family sizes, kids not having to see their siblings grow up. I mean... Yeah, it's a scary thing when you think about it, and that's how I feel as a guy. Yeah. I think the other thing, too, is, like... Where did you hear about the body horror? Science? Science? Like, even the idea of, like, having another human, like, growing inside of you and taking half your nutrients is still scary, you know? Even just, like, as a concept. Even before taking out, like, all, like, you know, various aches and pains and... like, you know, the idea that, like, you know, it's basically like an injury and that, like, there are certain things after pregnancy that the body cannot recover. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah. But no, it's not just the internet. It's also just, like, talking to people who have had children before. Like, yeah. My friend's mom just straight up lied to her mom about things like pain and morning sickness around pregnancy and birth. Yeah, it's like, again, like, we have to lie by omission or else nobody would ever have children, you know? But, yeah, like, I fully believe that anybody who posts something about how terrible pregnancy was for them on social media is 100% telling the truth. Because, like, there's no reason to lie about that, right? Like, yeah, it's not the same experience for everyone. Yes, but, like, it's never going to be 100% smooth, is what I'm saying, right? Like, it's a difficult process. You are literally creating new life. Like, it's gonna be hard on you no matter what, right? So yeah, I think that's, like... But that's not, like, a thing we can solve, really. Unfortunately, it's like, we still have to be in pain. I guess, I don't know. Some people want that. Some people are okay with that. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. It's just like... Yeah. I think if my parents could pop out a couple of monkeys, then anyone can. I guess also, too, it's just like... Yeah, it's a political issue. That, too. But, like, I feel like, again, even at the best of times, it's still not pleasant, you know? But I think the other thing, too, I guess, is just also, like, you have to, like, actually take care of the child once it's born. I think that's the other scary part. It's not just, like, the pregnancy. It's that, like, you now have a small person that, like, you have to now take care of. You now have to take care of this thing because it cannot take care of itself. Especially for, like, the first few years of its life. It cannot walk, it cannot speak, it can eat, and it can uneat, and it can yell, and that's about all it can do for the first, like, several years. And even after that, it's still, you know, might take a little longer. So I think it's just, like... It's a lot of pressure as well, right? It is a lot of pressure. But you can play video games with a child when it's big enough. I mean, yeah, but I can also play video games with my friends. Like... I guess you can introduce your child to video games, which is something you can't always do with your friends, I guess. Right? Like... You can try and impart your tastes in movies and video games onto your child, which they will almost certainly, like, they're almost certainly going to throw away, like, the moment that they become old enough to have their own opinions. But, you know, you know, they're almost certainly going to, like how many? I mean, I guess some people have, like, do your guys' taste in media match your parents at all? Like, you might have fond memories around certain things, but, like, was there anything that you're, like, your parents showed you and they're like, yes, my son, you must like this thing, and then, like, you actually liked? Nope, yeah. Because I can be like, yes, I'm going to be an anime parent, I'm going to raise my children on Pretty Cure and Ghibli movies, but, like, I feel like my children would inevitably just immediately, like, watch only normie live action stuff, like, the moment that they're old enough to do so. You know? The trick is to just give it to them while not giving them your opinion about it. I guess that's fair. That's fair. Of just showing them, be like, here, I'm putting on a movie. And then, like, I guess that just becomes, as they get older, they're like, that is the default movie. That is a movie, for sure. Yeah. Because I think, like, I'm trying to think of, like, if I've inherited either of my parents' taste in music, and I have not. I have just not. Like, my dad likes, like, long, like, improvised instrumental jazz, and my mom likes, Josh Groban and Michael Bublé, I guess. And I don't think I've quite inherited either. Yeah. Your aunt just bought you all the Legends of Galactic Heroes for some reason. Anime daughter or gamer son. Both, as long as they can become good people. Like... Yeah. I guess I enjoy the same music. Really? Interesting. Yeah. Eggy, you had one hell of a season yesterday? Yesterday? What do you mean? Eggy Strunk? Oh, yeah, in the Bloom baseball game. Yeah. Again, I still need to, like, watch through the whole thing. I just, like, watched bits and pieces because I was out, so I watched the VOD when I got back. And I think we did pretty well. We did pretty well, but I haven't gotten far enough to see who won yet. In the baseball! In the baseball! The baseball. Eggy at bat. Eggy with helmet and bat. I won because I made the right bets. Always bet on Eggy. Always bet on Eggy. My number was 0-0 because it looked like 2 eggs. So always bet on Eggy. Yeah, probably works best to let them get interested in what you are up to versus pushing too hard. Yeah. I guess, like, you know, just, you're right, just, like, present things neutrally. Because if you're like, this is my favorite movie ever, then, like, if the kids watch it and they're like, Or if you hype it up too much, I guess they get confused. Where'd my music go? Where's my music? Where's my Eggy music? Okay, we're back. We're back. Yeah. Children naturally want to mimic their parents early on before they start push their own individuality. Well, I don't know. I guess it's also just like, as a kid, you grow up with like a certain sense of like the default, right? Like if your parents put on a movie, right? Like, you know, the first few movies that you watch in your life are probably going to start to form your idea of what a movie is supposed to be, right? Or like what regular music sounds like, right? So like, if I raise my children on Ghibli movies, they're gonna look at Ghibli movies and they're gonna be like, yes, that's a movie. That is a movie. But like, I guess, like, because I don't know, I guess as a kid, you don't have a sense of what's a good movie or a bad movie yet, you know? Like, there might be movies you like more than others, or ones that you thought were boring, or ones you thought were interesting, but like, you usually don't have like a, you know, a taste yet, right? Because, you know, you've only existed for a few years. You haven't developed that yet. People seem to watch those movies when they can't just browse channels and get stuck on something that looks interesting. Yeah, I guess that too. Like, but also like when you're a kid, right? You're pretty much, again, unless you have like unsupervised TV/internet access, you're just watching whatever your parents put in front of you, right? So, like, if your parents are putting Disney in front of you, you're watching Disney. If they're putting, you know, anime in front of you, you're watching anime. And, like, you don't always get, like, a say in the matter. Sometimes your parents are like, come watch a movie. And then, I don't know. I think when I watched Shrek for the first time as a kid, actually, I think my parents, like, it was such a weird thing. They just kind of, like, surprised me with it. They're like, come, we're going to watch a movie together. And it was like a random evening. Like, maybe it was a weekend, but I just remember I was in my pajamas. I was like about to go to bed. My parents are like, nope, we're watching Shrek now. And I was like, oh, cool. I guess I'm staying up late. To watch Shrek. I don't remember how old I was, though. I think I was like 5 or 6, maybe. Yeah. There are children watching VTubers now. What a generation. Yeah, children are like growing up with like Twitch streamers. Or like YouTubers. Unsupervised internet access. I don't know. I guess it is kind of unsupervised. I feel maybe like it depends on the parent. They're growing up watching Gouda. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there might be worse things for your children to watch than Gouda. Oh, thank you, Taco Sway 6, thank you for spreading. Sorry, the text is like really tiny on my screen for some reason. Yeah, Twitch streamers might be a bit TV-ish. Yeah, child-oriented VTubers will be a thing. Well, like, wasn't there, what was it? There was some channel, I think, that like, used to be like a toys channel that was like popular with kids, and then they like started using a VTubing avatar instead. I can't remember the name of the channel, but I know some people were like, oh, that's, I mean, interesting. It's a different audience, for sure. Yeah, I watched Kodone a lot when I was 5 years old. Kids are gonna like start accidentally learning Japanese because their parents keep putting on like Japanese VTubers. You're gonna have kids who are just gonna be like, Yubi, Yubi, and not, like, you know, while speaking, like, entirely just English as their first language. Like, yeah, I guess it's possible, right? It's possible. I also think, like, I don't know, I'm on the fence because on one hand, people talk about, like, oh, the children are gonna be rotting their brains with what they're being fed on YouTube, and a lot of it is just, like, not very good. But on the other hand, I'm also just like, children's media is annoying is not, like, a new thing. Like, I don't know. I remember the other day, I was, like, in a store, and somebody was there with their toddler who had, like, Baby Shark playing on full volume as they were, like, on an iPad as they were going through the store. And, like, I was annoyed. It was annoying, but then I was also thinking back to, like, you know, like, Barney and, like, the other stuff that I would listen to as a kid, and I'm like, my parents probably did not enjoy that. You know? Yeah. Yeah, the TV had, like, a higher barrier of entry. Yeah, I know, like, definitely, like, more thought was being put in, but, like, because, yeah, definitely a lot of stuff for kids is just, like, you know, barely passable, like, maybe not AI generated, but, like, you know, it's definitely made because they know that the audience doesn't have standards. But, like, to a certain extent, it's like, yeah, Cocomelon. It's probably not great, but it's also just, like, you know, children's stuff is annoying to adults. I think it's harder for adults to separate sometimes between the stuff that's actually bad and the stuff that's just, you know, merely annoying. Because, you know, nobody remembers what it's like to be 2 years old. So we're like, we can use science and stuff, but I feel like a lot of it does tend to be, like, knee-jerk reactions. Yeah, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood also taught you things. Yeah, or, like, Sesame Street. But, like, Sesame Street is still around. You can still show your children Sesame Street. They're still making it, aren't they? Eggy. Can you do a Kermit impression? Okay, I thought you were about to tell me that Sesame Street no longer is on the air. Yeah. Sesame Street moved to HBO and gentrified. Yeah, but it still exists, is my point, right? Like, it's not like they Cocomeloned it, you know? Like, there's still, like, there's multiple Sesame Streets for each country. Oh, yeah, because they, like, I guess they can't really... Actually, that's interesting now that I think of it. Like, so, like, I guess because you can't really adapt... You can't really adapt it, like... Okay, actually, that's interesting now that I think of it. Because, like, trying to adapt children's, like, educational entertainment must be, like, an interesting task, right? For different countries. Because now that I think of it, like, original Sesame Street is, like, very American... Not American-centric, but, like, you know. If you show it to children in other countries, they might fundamentally understand what's going on, but, like, it might not, like, connect to their daily life in the same way. I guess that makes sense, right? Yeah. Yeah, Dora teaches English here in Germany and not Spanish. Really? That's interesting, actually. Compared to the OG where she teaches Spanish, yeah, it gets dubbed. Well, there's more than just dubbing, right? There's more than just dubbing. Because I think especially with children's media, and children's media that's, like, supposed to help, you know, teach kids things about their daily life, right? Things are different in different countries, right? So, like, what a house might look like if you show, like, just, like, a default house, that's gonna look different in different countries, right? Or, like, what does a school look like? That's gonna be different in different countries, right? Like, I feel like if you were a kid and you lived in a country where, like, school always had uniforms, right? You might, like, watch an American TV show where the, you know, students, like, characters who are supposed to be kids at school are not wearing uniforms, and you might be like, that's odd. Right? Like, it doesn't, like, match up with what your vision of, you know, regular life would be, right? Or same thing with, you know, like, how, even stuff like how streets look, how stores look. There's more than just dubbing, I think. And I'm talking specifically about stuff like, you know, that's supposed to be like educational for very small children. Because, like, obviously older children, like, you know, stuff like, you know, they dubbed anime back in the day, right? Like, you know, like Sailor Moon or like, you know, Pokemon. But like, the thing is like, when it comes to anime, that's usually for a slightly older audience, right? Like, kids can tell when a house is a house, right? Even if it doesn't look like their house. They might be like, that seems like a slightly odd looking house, but like, you know, they can still identify it as a house. Jelly donut. Yeah, sometimes you get stuff like that. But like, the difference is Sailor Moon and Pokemon weren't trying to be like educational programming, you know? But yeah, culture shock of no uniforms is a consistent thing. Yeah. Seems easily explained by parents. I mean, yes, but like, it's not a question of can the children understand it? It's like, can the children understand it in a way that will actually connect with the children, you know? It's like how there's like a lot of, like there are children's shows in Japan that just like don't really get exported very much because like they're so Japanese that like you cannot make this like connect for English speaking children without just fundamentally taking the whole thing down and rebuilding it, you know? I learned plenty from Sailor Moon says. But that was like a thing added for the English version, right? Yeah, they don't get exported. No, I'm just talking about like the ones that do get exported. So stuff like Sesame Street, right? Where it's like, you know, you can teach children colors and whatever their, you know, language, whatever their mother tongue is, but like, will they recognize the stories as something that they can relate to? Which I think is like something that's probably more important. Probably more important than it would be in other, like, you know, media targeting other audiences. But Japanese myths do pop up in other anime where they're not the primary focus. Actually, that's interesting because I remember reading with, like the localization of Yokai Watch. Because Yokai Watch have this, like, they have an obstacle in a way that, like, Pokemon and Digimon didn't, right? Because, like, Pokemon and Digimon, like, Pokemon, obviously, they're about they're about animals that are just, you know, invented whole cloth, right? Like, these are creatures that were invented specifically for the franchise. But Yokai Watch has, like, the unique issue of, like, this is stuff that's, like, really specific to Japanese culture that is not necessarily recognizable overseas, right? But they chose to localize it as Yokai Watch. But they also did the Pokemon thing where they, like, change all the names to English names and, like, try to change the setting, but they keep the yokai as yokai, with the assumption that children here would know what a yokai is, which they didn't. So you get this, like, very weird, kind of this, like, weird thing where it's, like, these are all things that they assume children, like, you know, they assume children are sort of familiar with, but, like, they're not familiar with here at all. So it's, like, kind of a unique challenge that I don't think they quite nailed. They don't know what a yokai watch, so they left it that way. What do the yokai watch? Truly. Yeah. American myths are a lot more intangible. We have to capture Marilyn Manson's. Yeah. I mean, I guess American myths, that's more urban legends, though, than, like, myths, right? Because, like, I'm trying to think of, like, stuff that Americans would know about that you could, like, do stuff with. I don't know. I guess there's, like, I don't know. You can bring in, like, I guess Americans tend to bring in myths from, like, other countries, right? Like, we're adapting stuff from Catholicism or something, you know? Yeah, what's the difference, really? I mean, yes, but the difference is, I guess, like, urban legends... I mean, some urban legends... Well, I mean, I guess there's some that are a lot more, like, non-specific, but I feel like a lot of urban legends, like, have, like, a specific person that they're about, right? So stuff like, you know, Walt Disney's Frozen Head, where it's like, okay, well, this is specifically about a specific person who existed, but whether he did that or not is up for debate, you know? And that's what people are debating. Yeah. Some yokai are urban legends too, like, Running Granny or the Toilet Ghost. Yeah, like, but the difference is that, like, they're kind of based on something. But I wouldn't call that... That's not mythology in the same way that yokai are, right? But I also think that Toilet Ghost is also not, like, a Japanese-specific thing, because I feel like Toilet Ghosts definitely exist in other cultures. Like, not in the exact same way, but, like... I feel like the idea of, like, a ghost that haunts, like, a bathroom stall definitely, like, exists in other countries. Like, it's not a Japan-specific thing. Wasn't there a history show with kids traveling to the past historic events in the US? I think that sounds familiar, but it's also possible they never brought that to Canada because it's not even it's not even relevant to Canada. Turlet Haint? Is that like another ghost? Another toilet ghost? I don't know. The lesson here is that everybody around the world is very scared of washroom. They're very scared of washroom. Washroom scary. Public washroom. Ooh. But yeah, actually, speaking of urban legends, have you guys played there was a game I've been following it for so long, and they recently got the demo. Like, the demo just dropped. I think it was like Urban Legend Dissolution Center. Have you guys played the demo for that yet? It's like a VN. I probably won't stream it because I've already played through it. But it's like a VN adventure type game. It's one of those games I played. It's coming out in February. I'm so mad. I played the demo and now I have to wait for the game to come out. Can you believe that? The audacity of the devs. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You expect me to wait? I don't even know where I'm gonna be in February. I don't even know where I'm gonna be. But yeah. It looks fun. The demo was really fun. But it's one of those things you get to the end and the demo is like, wish list us on Steam. And I'm like, I've been wish listing you before the Steam page was even in English. Like, I've been waiting for this thing for like years. Because I think I heard about it a long time ago. Because again, I follow some people on Twitter who are like really into like VNs and they speak Japanese. Or like they can speak Japanese, so like they're kind of more in tune with like the Japanese like VN indie game scene. So I think they had like posted about it. They had posted about it, and I'm like, oh, this looks really interesting. So I just like wishlisted it on Steam on the off chance that it gets translated into English. And then it did, so that's cool. But yeah, no, it's a fun game. Like, story seems interesting. Stalking people on Twitter is an actual game mechanic. Because, like, they do have to do, like, internet research before they handle, like, a case, right? Because apparently, like, in the lore, it's like the internet is where like a lot of urbanists gain their power. So it's like, yeah, you gotta like stalk through people's Twitters. But yeah, Japanese game got localized. Let's go! It's got translated into like a bunch of different languages, I think, actually. It's not just English. I think they're getting like French and Chinese and Korean and a few other ones. Maybe not French, but there was like a long list of languages is what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm like excited. I'm excited. You should play it. It's fun. And then maybe we'll have to like sit here and stare at the wall until February. It's so weird. I keep forgetting that it's 2024 this year. Like I keep seeing stuff. It's like coming spring 2025, and I'm like 2025. That's like so long. That's such a long time away. 2025. That's like 2 years from now, and I'm like. The year is 2024. It is 2024. We are almost the entire way through 2024, and I keep forgetting that it is 2024. You know? 2022 doesn't feel like 2 years ago. In my mind, it's like permanently 2023. Like it just never stopped being 2023. Soon, 20. You're lucky. For me, 2025 is the distant future of Mega Man. It's the distant future. Next week is November. My brain never left January. Yeah, again, this is what happens when you no longer have structure in your life. Because, like, I've only been working this job since March, but it feels like a lot longer. But also just, like, I think of where I was 1 year ago and I was somewhere completely different, so in that way it feels even longer. But also, in my mind, it's still 2023. We never left 2023, so it's just been like an extremely long 2023. 2025? What's next? 2026? Unbelievable. They can't keep getting away with it. 65 days left. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, like 2020... Because yeah, I think like 2021 feels like ages ago. 2022 feels like yesterday. 2023 feels like now, but also 2024 has been long. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. It is what it is. But again, maybe that's just like, oh boy, Christmas, just 59 days away. I'm so excited about this information. I need to start getting... Well, you know what? I'm not going to start on Christmas shopping until Halloween is over. It's so weird going to the mall, because I pass through the mall on my way back from work every day. And, like, it's so weird because I'm like... I'll be walking through the mall, and some stores already have all their Christmas stuff up. And I'm like, did Halloween happen when I wasn't looking? Because, like, that's, like, the unique downside of having Thanksgiving in October, instead of in November, is that, like, we just jump straight from, like, you know, October 31st is Halloween, and then, like, November 1st, you wake up and you're like, it's Christmas now. Our choir started Christmas stuff last week, and it's kind of late. Yeah, well, like, okay, when you're rehearsing stuff for Christmas, that's different, right? Because, like, you're practicing it, but you're not performing it yet, right? But, like, if you hit November 1st and, like, you're instantly like, okay, we're performing all Christmas music, then it's like, okay, that's different. That's different. Yeah, Christmas time starts after Halloween. Yeah. Because, like, Christmas time is, like... I remember talking to somebody who works at a dollar store, and she was like, oh yeah, there's actually, like... There's a specific team that comes in on the night of October 31st, after they close, and takes down all the Halloween stuff and puts up all the Christmas stuff. They do it all in one night. So you wake up the next day, you know, you leave the store, it's Halloween, you come in the store next day, Crimbus. Like, they do it all in one night. October 31st, still in my spooky skeleton. November 1st, wearing my Christmas hat. Yeah. I think most stores put up Christmas sweets in September and they sell like bonkers. Yeah, that's the case here too. But I think for us, because we have Thanksgiving in October, so I feel like Thanksgiving and Halloween just kind of fuse into one, like, fall holiday. Because, you know, both holidays, you got pumpkins for both holidays. You got apples for both holidays. You know, there's a lot of food for both of them. It's just kind of like it's the one holiday. Whereas, like, I guess if you have it in November, it's not, like, it's a little different. But yeah, usually after that, they just, like, November is Crimbus. Usually stores don't start playing, like, actual Christmas music until mid-November. I feel like November, because, like, November 11th for us is Remembrance Day, which I think is sort of like Veterans Day in the States. Usually after for Remembrance Day. Like, before Remembrance Day, it's considered a little early, but usually after Remembrance Day is where, like, Christmas stuff goes into full gear. October 31st, complaining adult Halloween is no fun. November 1st, complaining the shop doesn't have Hanukkah decorations. Wait, is Hanukkah earlier than Christmas? I forget. Like, because I know there's some holidays... She's thawing. She's thawing. She's thawing. No fun for adults on Halloween? Oh, you missed the first part of the stream where I was complaining about how there's nothing for adults to do on Halloween, aside from parties. It's also, I don't know, this year is going to be a very weird Christmas. Like, it's because, like, I don't actually, you know how Christmas this year is on a Wednesday, right? So you're off, because we're off for Boxing Day as well. So we get, like, Wednesday, Thursday off. Or, hold on, let me look at a calendar. Let me pull up a calendar. So, October, November, December. So, yeah. Christmas is a Wednesday, Boxing Day is a Thursday. So basically I go in, I'm working Monday, Tuesday, because those days I couldn't get any of the days around the holidays off because everybody already took them. So Monday, Tuesday, I'm working. Wednesday, Thursday, I'm off. Then I have to go in on Friday. But then after that, it's Saturday, Sunday. Then I have to go in on Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday will be off because it's New Year's. This is going to be such a weird Christmas. This is going to be such a weird holiday. Like, I don't even know how much we'll get done during those days, considering that, like, half of our staff is gone. It's gonna be so weird. Maybe it'll be, like, the equivalent, like, I'm hoping it's gonna be, like, the work equivalent of, like, you know, when you have a snow day at school? But, like, not, like, a full snow day, but just, like, a snow day where the school buses were canceled, so, like, half the class is missing. So, but there'll be, like, you know, 9 people in your class that day, so the teacher's like, you know, this is not enough people to actually put on a lesson, so we're just gonna go make a snow fort. I'm hoping to have, like, the work equivalent of that. Like, there'll be, like, 3 people in the office, and we're just gonna kind of chill for a bit. Yeah, Hanukkah this year is December 25th to January 2nd. That's funky. Finally, a year where, like, I mean, it's usually not in sync with Christmas, is it? I know it's usually a winter holiday, but it's usually not, like, that in sync. Yeah. Some people get a lot done because there's no one to disturb them on those in-between days. Yeah, I just don't know what there is gonna be to, like, do, you know? Because I know there might be, like, a rush in January, like, after the holidays are over for certain things, but, like, yeah. You're gonna wear a costume or Halloween-themed accessory for Halloween this year? I'm gonna ask at work to see what people usually do. Because, like, I guess there's nothing stopping me from being, like, the one person in the office with a Halloween costume, but yeah. It's usually in December. Last year was way earlier. Oh, okay, so it's like a thing like Easter, you know, where, like, it's, like, a slightly different day every year, right? But yeah, 2 weeks of, what day is it? I've lost count now. Yeah. Because it's more just, like, I don't get a consistent holiday. Like, last year, the job I was working, they gave us, like, I think we finished December, like, I don't remember what it was. I think it was, like, because last year, Christmas was, like, what, like a Tuesday, I guess? Tuesday or a Monday. So, like, basically they let us off on, like, the 22nd or something. Like, basically the Friday before. And then we got, like, I think we got, like, 2 weeks off. Like, 2 weeks plus, like, an additional weekend or something because of the way that the days fell. So, like, we got, like, an actual proper Christmas break. It's just gonna be weird this year because it's, like, 2 days off, 1 day on, 2 days off, 1 day. Like, it's gonna be such a mess. It's gonna be such a mess. It's gonna be incredibly weird. Like, I don't know. Because even this year, I'm not going anywhere either. Like, my parents are coming to visit for Christmas, but, like, I don't have the time because I can't get, like, the days off. I'm not visiting anywhere. So I guess I'll save some money in that regard. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I should do actual, like, Christmas streaming. You know what I've wanted to do? You know what I've wanted to do ever since, like, I started streaming? I want to stream that Ace Attorney case. Like, you know, Turnabout Goodbyes, like the one that takes place on Christmas. I've always wanted to stream that on Christmas. Like, it would be, like, I don't know if I could do it as a marathon, because I think it takes, like, from the people I've asked, they said, like, it's a longer case, so it's about 6 hours from start to finish, but that's, like, you know, without time to yap. So maybe I would have to do it over, like, the course of a couple days, if I could get more people on board. I wonder if I could do that this year, since I'm not, like, going anywhere, and I don't know what everyone else's plans are. But, like, yeah, I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to marathon that. Maybe this will be the year. Maybe this will be the year that we finally stream Turnabout Goodbyes. Baking Christmas cookie stream. Yeah, but, like, I don't have the kitchen space for that. I don't have the kitchen space for that, unfortunately. I guess maybe I could do, like, some kind of Christmas knitting. I know I did, like, a gnome last year. I need to set up my knitting area. I have a few ideas of how I could pull it off. Because, okay, one of the things I realized, because one of the biggest issues with knitting for knitting streams is like setting up the camera, but also setting up the mic, right? Because there are places where I'm like, okay, I could, you know, have the camera at this angle, but then I couldn't have the mic, or I'd have to like have the mic, but I'd be like off to the side like this. But now that I have the lav mic, I realize I'm like, I can be anywhere in the room, right? If I use my phone for tracking, and maybe I have something else open to like see chat, I can be basically anywhere in the room if I use the lav mic, you know? The Christmas ugly sweater is surely a rite of passage for knitting. Yes, but I would have had to start that about 6 months ago. I would have had to start that way, way before. Yeah, 6 hours would be reasonable if you were the only entertainer, but there's more guests there are, the more yapping there'll be. Well, I also don't know if 6 hours is like assuming that like you never get a thing wrong. Like I've played through this case before, but like I don't remember everything. Yeah. Eggy PNG plus lav mic. Be free. Yeah, exactly. I'm realizing I'm like, the lav mic has set me free. I'm no longer bound to sitting directly in front of the computer. So now that I realize that, I'm like, you know, maybe I could hand cam. I could figure something out. You could make some Christmas treats. Yeah, it would just have to be stuff that, like, I don't need a kitchen to make, you know? Because, like, I can't stream from the kitchen because the kitchen is not actually very big. Like, unless it's something that I, like, prepare and then, like, assemble down here, you know? Like, I guess there's nothing stopping me from, like, bringing frosting or something down here. But that's not fun. It's kind of sad. It feels kind of sad to decorate cookies in a room by yourself, you know? Like, it would have to be, like... I'm not even sure if it'd be a collab, because it still feels weird to be decorating cookies by myself while somebody else in a Discord call many miles away is talking to me. I'd have to workshop it. You could carry the baking sheet to the kitchen. That's upstairs. It's upstairs. I'm in the basement. Yeah. Handcam could see the decorating. Yeah, I guess. Like... But that's, I don't know. It feels something just very sad about, like, decorating cookies by yourself. It would have to be, like, you know, IRL collab. I'd have to, like, invite somebody over to my house to decorate them with me. Or, like, visit somebody. Yeah, chat can't really teleport and have a tea party at a cafe. Excuse me, how dare the eggplants not teleport to come decorate cookies with me? Excuse me, I planned an entire Christmas party and not a single person teleported to Eggy City to come be with me. Unbelievable. Terrible. How dare you? Gingerbread building stream. I guess, yeah, I guess I could do that. If you prepare, like, the frosting and stuff ahead of time. Yeah, dang, all we can do is fly over. Unbelievable. The eggplants couldn't even... Unbelievable. I own a mahjong set and not a single person has teleported to me. Your work schedule kind of keeps you in Eggy City. Yeah. I mean, I will probably travel at some point next year. Like, I plan to be going to MagFest again. So, like, I'm going places. But where those places are, that... Not sure yet. I haven't planned... I literally have not planned a single thing in my life past January. You know? Like, currently, the thing furthest into the future, you got invited for MagFest? You don't have to be invited. It's a convention. I'm going to MagFest as a guest. I'm not doing a panel. I'm not a guest. I'm going as a person who is going to purchase a pass and go there of my own volition. Yeah. Those gingerbread house kits make it easy. Or no, they have ones at Kit Kats. Yeah, I bought my dad a Kit Kat one year. The only thing is that, like, the frosting for them... Because, like, the thing with gingerbread house frosting, right, is you need to have the kind of icing that, like, hardens. Because if you just use the regular one they have in the pack, it stays liquid, it will not stick together. You have to use, like, royal icing. Because that stuff, like, actually hardens and will actually keep your gingerbread house together. And usually the stuff that they send you in the pack is not royal icing at all. Like, there's a reason why these things always fall apart, and it's because you need the right kind of icing. MagFest with all the Holojong sets. Yeah, I don't think I can bring my Holojong set, because apparently Zhong sets are actually very difficult to take on airplanes. But yeah, I can at least play Zhong with people. One day, Eggy, one day. I must work hard. I must work hard. I must work hard and get up on time. And maybe one day I will be big famous streamer. But yeah, I think yeah, it's gonna be a weird holiday. And I haven't thought much past January. Like, when is MagFest again? It's like the 22nd or something of January. Let me see. November, December, January. Yeah, I think it's like the 23rd or something. It starts on the 23rd or something. Which means that I have nothing in my life planned after I get back from MagFest. Like, even trying to ask my I know we're getting to the time of year where they're going to probably start asking about, like, our time off requests for next year. Zero ideas. I have no ideas. I have no ideas. The foremost expert on egg VTubing. Actually, speaking of eggs, I think meringue probably. Well, meringue maybe not. Because you have to, like, you have to, like, heat that up in order for it to harden. Yeah. TwitchCon and OffCon probably happen too in terms of events. Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's just kind of trying to, it's like both trying to balance time and money, right? Because I think I get like 15 days off, right? And obviously that doesn't count weekends, right? So like if I take 5 days off, that's a whole week, right? Or if I take like I think you can kind of maximize it by like trying to pick it around weekends and holidays. So for instance, like when I went to Vancouver this year, it was I think I took like 3 days off. I took 5 days off, but I got like 7 off because of the weekend. Like I just like planned it around a weekend. Yeah, con visits are pricey, but yeah, it's also just like time. Because I think I'm too elderly to do the thing where you like fly back on Sunday and get back to work on Monday. I think I'm just too tired for that. Because like, I don't know, I had friends who used to do it and like, it's miserable, right? Iggy, why are you on YouTube? I'm testing out Restream. Please tell me if it's working. You're seeing this, I'm assuming. You're seeing this, so I'm assuming it's working. I don't know how much I'll use Restream, because I know I can't use it for every stream. Like, there's stuff that probably should stay on Twitch and stuff that should stay on YouTube. But, like, I'm trying to put a foot in both, what's the phrase? I'm trying to dip into both buckets. I don't think that's the phrase. I don't think that's the phrase. Yeah, time to hit the gym so you're fit enough for flying back on Sunday and work on Monday. Look, no amount of exercise can, like, undo sleep, okay? Oh, thank you, Punk Asian, for sprouting on YouTube, I'm assuming. Thanks, I appreciate restreams. Twitch is blocked at work. Okay, in which case I will restream all the time. I will restream all the time. I don't know, there's certain things I'm more concerned about, because I know, like, for YouTube, you have to, like I said, I was talking about this earlier, like, YouTube, you kind of have to, like, treat it as if you're uploading a video that hasn't been made yet. Like, you know, you're uploading something that's being made in real time, so, like, you have to come up with, like, you know, a thumbnail, and you have to schedule it and stuff, which on Twitch, you don't have to do that at all. But, yeah, to be fair, for when it comes to YouTube, if I'm watching something at work, okay, I have to admit, I never watch many of my friends at work because they all stream on Twitch, and unfortunately, like, my love for my friends is completely outdone by my hatred of Twitch Mobile. Like, because I can't, like, I'm pretty sure, like, both Twitch and YouTube are blocked on the computers at work, but I can use my phone, right? And yeah, Twitch Mobile is terrible. I hate Twitch Mobile. I despise it with all my being. So, like, I pretty much only watch YouTube. I only watch YouTube streams, if I do watch streams. I tend to watch VODs, too, because I feel like not a lot of people that I follow stream while I'm at work. So, usually I just end up watching, like, VODs. But, yeah. Audio only on Twitch Mobile might do. It's still not super consistent. Twitch Mobile, not my beloved. Yeah, Twitch Mobile might be hated. A lot of the time I find, like, Twitch Mobile, like, I'll be watching something with, like, audio only, and it'll just stop. It'll just stop, and I have to like open it up again to get it to start again. It's super inconsistent. It is not a good app at all. I do not recommend it. I wish they would improve it. I do not want it to go away entirely, because I guess it still has some uses, but like, yeah, Twitch Mobile is weirdly bad. Like, they had to try to make it this bad. Well, the thing is that like watching a live stream, like every other app has been able to figure out how to make live streaming on mobile or like watching live streams on mobile not a terrible time. Like, YouTube has figured it out, TikTok figured it out, Instagram figured it out. Somehow Twitch, whose sole reason for existence is live streaming, has not figured it out. It's very bizarre. Yeah, YouTube prioritizes that the video keeps playing if the ad fails. Twitch doesn't. Yeah, that's one issue, is ads. I find that, like, clipping on Twitch Mobile is miserable. What else? Yeah, Twitch has to watch their own streamers instead of improving the app experience. Yeah, they're too busy enforcing rules. No, I mean, to be fair, Twitch has a lot more bells and whistles. So, like, you know, stuff like, you know, point redeems and stuff. I can understand how that would get more complicated. Yeah, even our local version of Amazon figured it out. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with you, Twitch. But yeah, I don't know why Twitch Mobile is like this. But yeah, I usually just tend to watch YouTube at work, though. But I'm sure if I stream to YouTube more, because I feel like I have the thing where I'm like, I don't want to stream to YouTube because most of my viewers are on Twitch, and then if I'm on YouTube, then nobody will watch, and then that becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy where, like, because I never stream on YouTube, then when I stream on YouTube, people don't tune in. So it's like, okay, maybe I do need to, like, maybe if I actually streamed on YouTube, people might actually watch on YouTube because it's going to be on YouTube. Yeah. Picture in window doesn't work right with Twitch Mobile. Yeah, it works fine with YouTube for me, but like, yeah. Twitch improving the service? Nah, Twitch, no hips allowed. We have to really get on our hip moderation. People are like, oh, I'm hipping with it. I'm hipping with it. And it's like, no, you're not. You can be that second part, but you cannot be that first part. But, yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll keep using Restream once I figure out how to make it work. Because I was trying to figure out how to make Restream, like how I could set it up so that, like, it streams to, like, a pre-existing YouTube, like, you know when you set up a stream? Like, if I could, like, stream it to that instead of having Restream come up with a new thing every single time. Yeah. I watch Hal here, and I think he gets new people from YouTube. Yeah, I know that, like, I know Nyaru, I don't know why I said it, like, super Japanese. Nyaru, she's been doing, both as well. Sometimes I actually catch her, at work later in the day, like, when she does YouTube. But yeah. But, yeah. That could, I don't know. This is my first try. We'll get it right someday. We'll get it right someday. I guess I also need to be concerned about, like, because I know, like, the way that the copyright systems work for, like, Twitch and YouTube are different, which is what I'm concerned about. But on the other hand, I'm like, my channel's not monetized yet on YouTube, so I'm like, maybe that'll be kind of a, we'll cross that bridge when we get there kind of deal, you know? So, yeah. Welcome to Eggy Stream, where I only talk about, like, the boring parts of being a streamer. We're gonna talk about being a streamer. I don't know, it's always fun, because, like, I like hearing about, like, the behind-the-scenes things of streaming, but sometimes it's like, you have the behind-the-scenes stuff that's, like, interesting. Yeah, it's like meta talk, where you're talking about, like, here's what I think about other people right now, or, like, here's why I could do this thing and not this other thing. But sometimes it's like, you know, here's the weird details of, like, here's the resolution I stream at, you know? Yeah, YouTube spent a lot of money to be able to detect things live. Yeah, that's my main concern, is basically, like, especially for, I mean, I've done karaoke on YouTube with relatively little issue. I think as long as you have it, like, I didn't really use any like specific instrumentals. Like I used like a lot of like piano instrumentals. So I guess maybe as long as you don't use the official one, it doesn't catch you. I guess you can always unarchive it. Make it unarchived. But yeah. Probably could send some Maros to other streamers' FAQ streams at times to learn some behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. I guess my main concern is actually BGM, more so than actually like karaoke or anything. Because like I know that like if you're streaming a game and like it catches the copyright in the game audio, you're probably still in the clear because like, you know, it's the game. Like, but it's more like, you know, if I have like Animal Crossing music or if I have like, you know, if I have other music playing in the background, am I allowed? Like, is that allowed? Is my question, you know? Beware of latent soundtrack. Yeah, that was like a huge thing on Twitch, wasn't it? Like, for some reason, like latent soundtrack was just getting like hit every single time. Yeah, that was peculiar. That was strange. But yeah. It's like that, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably try to stream. If that's the case, I'll try to stream on YouTube more. YouTube Eggy. And Twitch Eggy. And maybe I'll actually post a cover. Okay, speaking of covers, actually, there was a cover I wanted to get released for Halloween. Would you guys think it's weird if I released, like, a very Halloween-y, not very Halloween-y, but, like, somewhat Halloween-y cover, but, like, in the middle of November? Because I wanted to get this thing done for Halloween. That's absolutely not going to happen. Like, sure, why not? Yeah, because, like, I mean, it's not super Halloween-y. It's a Kikuo song. It's a Kikuo song. Yeah, you just be late. It's a Kikuo song, which I guess, like, you know, that's not super Halloween, but, like, I guess as long as I do it in November before people have moved on to Christmas, I guess. I don't know. I guess the thing is like, I was trying to record last week, and it was a combination of, like, I am tired, and also singing has been so hard lately because it's been so dry out. Like, both in my office and at home, like, I've been running my humidifier every night, but it still only sometimes helps. Like, it's just... How's Eggy Anniversary going? Oh, that's going pretty smoothly, actually. Oh, I should probably check. I'm in the process of commissioning things for Eggy Anniversary. Maybe I should check, because I replied to an artist last night, actually. But yeah, stuff is... I mean, currently Eggy Anniversary is mostly going to be new assets, right? So I'm not getting anything new for the model, but I'm going to be getting, like, a new room. I'm going to be getting a new waiting screen. I'm going to be getting sub badges, which I really should have had by now. I'm getting, like, actual proper stinger animation. Well, maybe not animation, but I'm getting a stinger, you know, aside from just, like, cutting to new room. So currently I'm in the process. Long-awaited nerdy emote. Yes, I have commissioned a couple new emotes for that too. So that'll be... It's kind of weird because the moment I get something new, I'm like, I want to add it right away. But I'm like, no, I need to hold off. I need to hold off for like another month. But yeah, so I'm excited about it though. I'm at the stage where like the artists are like sending me sketches, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna look nice when it's done. Because, like, I have been, like, the current room and the current assets have served me very well. But, you know, it's been 3 years. It's been 3 years. I think it's time for a change. And, like, I don't know, it's one of those things where I'm like, I feel like I need a change in something. But, like, I wasn't sure what. Because, like, on one hand, I'm like, I like my current model. I don't feel like I need a new model. And even if I wanted a new model, I would have had to arrange that like way before, right? But I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should get the assets. Because I feel like when I did my debut, I had some assets and then everything else was like, I'll deal with it later. And then I just never dealt with it. And then 3 years passed and I'm like, oh, maybe I I forgot to get sub badges, didn't I? Here we go. Yeah, new models are overrated. Well, the thing is like, it's a big expense. Because, like, models are so much more expensive than when I got mine, right? Because, like, mine was, like, you know, late 2021 when I got mine. And I think the original, I don't remember exactly how much I paid for it originally. I think it was, like, I think I paid, like, $250 for art. And then it was, like, $500, I think, total. Right? And, like, it's not a full body, so obviously I like, some costs were cut there, but, like, it was, like, you know, $250 for art, $250 or so for rigging, something like that. I think it was like $500 or $600 total, which even back then was kind of considered, like, on the lower end. Now that would be, like, almost impossible. Because I think both my art mama and my rigging mama have, like, both raised their prices since then. So yeah, it's good that artists are making money, but yes, it's a lot more of a financial investment, especially if I wanted to start from scratch, right? Like, if I wanted to switch artists, it would be just extremely expensive. It would be extremely expensive. Because, like, again, I've spent more money for new outfits, right? But, like, the outfits are cheaper than the model because they're not starting from scratch, right? Like, they don't have to re-rig my face. They don't have to re-rig my hair unless it's a new hairstyle, right? Like, you know, I think my Bogey made a few touch-ups to the rigging each time I've gotten a new outfit, but, you know, they're not, like, huge things. It's just, like, things to slight improvements, I guess. So yeah, like, I'm fine with my current model, you know? I know it's not the most up-to-date looking one, like, it doesn't have all the fancy bells and whistles, but, like, it's serviceable. It does what it needs to do, you know? And I don't think I need a new one, right? You know, why should I get a new Live 2D? The old one still works, you know? But yeah, it should be seen as a necessity. I think it's also just, like, feature, I don't know if there's a word for it, but it's like feature creep, power creep. Like, I feel like I remember watching, like, some VTuber clips from, like, 2021, and I remember thinking about how, like, when I originally watched those, I used to look at the rigging and be like, wow, that's some good rigging. And now I look at it and I'm like, why does her ponytail move like that? So, like, I think that, like, what's considered the baseline for good rigging is, like, it's gone way up, right? Yeah, it's a pretty good model. No, I'm not talking about clips of myself. I'm talking about clips of, like, other VTubers. Like, of, like, HoloLive VTubers. Where it's, like, at the time I'm like, yeah, this is good rigging. And then, like, now I'm like, why does it look like that? But, like, because it's gone so fast. Why is her hat an egg? No, that's your question, okay? I came up with the design, okay? I was the one who decided to be an egg. I know why my hat's an egg. Yeah, you can't really compete with companies or indies with lots of budget. Yeah, but I just think it's, like, the baseline of what's considered good rigging has gone up, but it's not because the technology has gotten better, it's because people got better at using it. But because of that, like, rigging your average model is a lot more time consuming for riggers than it used to be, right? Because everyone now has higher expectations, which means that, like, you know, you have to charge more because it takes longer. And that's just how it is. But it's also just like, well, you know, maybe we can lower our standards a little so that we aren't all, you know, spending tons of money and time and, you know, doing ourselves in that way, you know? I feel like the line art of Eggy's model has a unique character. Yeah, I mean, I know that the line art, the style, I was told, like, when I got the art done, like, Colette was like, are you sure you want this style? Because this will be a little limiting in terms, like, once it gets rigged. Like, which is true. Because, like, when you have, like, thicker lines and it's not in, like, a chibi format, it's a little stiffer with what you can do with it, right? But I don't know. I prefer it. I like it. I think it looks unique. Obviously there's things I can't do, like a lot of VTuber assets look really weird on me because my, like, you know, you'll be like, here's some hands, and it's like the hands are like, the line art is like half the thickness of the rest of the body. But yeah, I like my model. I'm happy with it. Like, I've been happy with it the entire time. But yeah, it reminds me of marker drawings. I guess a little. Marker 3 HD. But yeah. It's a bit sad about all the VTuber children that never start streaming or only stream a few times. Yeah, yeah. I guess that's the thing too, is that like, if you're like an artist and a rigger, like you don't know which one of your children is going to become successful. Like obviously if you're like making a model for somebody who either already is a VTuber or already is well known, like you can be like, okay, yeah, that's they're probably going to remain successful, right? But like if you're making a model for somebody who has never streamed before, it's always kind of like, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah, Eggy would not be out of place in a shoujo manga. I am sparkly. I am sparkly. Very sparkly. But yeah, so new models probably out of the question for now. Because it's not necessary. Like there definitely are rigging adjustments I might want to make, or maybe I might want to get, you know, like legs and feet someday. But like, again, it's not a priority, right? Like it is what it is, you know? Being successful versus not streaming feel like different compartments. No, I mean like as in they're going to stream versus they're not going to stream is what I mean. When I say successful, I don't mean the popular. I mean like they are going to continue making content on the internet versus they are not. They're going to succeed at being consistent or they aren't, you know? But yeah, like, because yeah, when you're making models for people who have never streamed, you don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. They don't even know. But yeah, but yeah, new assets was definitely something I wanted to look into getting. Because I like my current ones, but I've also had them for a very long time. And sometimes I think about like how maybe I should get something new. Yeah. Going to succeed at using the model consistently. Yeah, yeah. Or also too, you don't always know like how long they're going to use it. Even if they keep streaming, like, you know, there's lots of people who started with a model from one artist and then later they commissioned one from somebody else and just stopped using the original one, you know? I want to know what goes through into an artist and rigger's head when someone who'd never streamed dumps loads of money. Yeah, well, it's like, I think about that too. Wasn't there some like bigger riggers who like kind of pick and choose their clients? So like, even if you're like, you know, rich man, loads of money, and you are trying to drop $1 bajillion on your VTuber model, if you don't have like a track record, they're less likely to take on your project, even if it is like something, even if you are like presenting a lot of money. Like I definitely know there's some riggers who do that, who will, or same with 3D models, I think too, where like, you know, obviously, I mean, it's a little unfair if you're like, you know, a new person and you're trying to compete with like, you know, big names, but also, you know, they want to have models for people that will actually get used. Yeah. At some point you have more and more clients. It reaches a point where you have to decline some of them. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's reasonable. Like if you're an artist and you have the right to decide who you want to work with, even if they are offering you big money, you know? So yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's understandable, you know? There's more to it than money, I think. Because yeah, clearly the money isn't big enough. I'm sometimes worried that my current job will reflect poorly on me when applying to other jobs. Oh, like if you stayed at one place too long? If you're a new person, you probably shouldn't spend loads of money on a model yet. Well, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Will they? That's a different question, but they shouldn't. Yeah. Commissioning artists feels a little risky at times, like the tweet about getting a private skeb and the artist just returns a doodle versus their like usual polished work. Yeah. Well, skeb is officially because like with skeb you can't ask for adjustments. Whereas like if you commission through other methods, then usually they will send you like a sketch or something. Yeah, I'll never have Celia rigging. I remember looking at her stuff 3 years ago and thinking, wow, that's great. And I can afford it now, but I don't have art ready for her. Oh yeah, Celia's a popular rigger. She's done rigging. I think she rigged Doki's current model. Like the cowboy looking one that goes. See, I can't even do it on my own face because that's how good Celia's rigging is. Yeah. Also, taking my artists will choose regulars most of the time since they're sure they won't get a refund. Yeah, that's true. If you have like a, existing professional relationship with somebody, then yeah, that makes sense. Or if like, if you have a friend that this person has commissioned, like they can kind of vouch for them, Yeah. Because I work at a church and a hiring manager could easily find recorded sermons. Ah. I mean, I guess it depends on what those sermons were about. Yeah. If a pastor says something cringe, I really cringe. I mean, I guess it also depends on, yeah, like what you're applying for. They're not too bad. They're okay sermons. They're like acceptable sermons. I don't know. I think like, I guess it depends if you're just like still applying for jobs within, like, I guess if you're applying for other churches. I don't know how churches hiring works though. Like I was always under the impression that they wouldn't like you don't like apply to, you're like, hey, I would like to be pastor at this church. I always was under the impression that it was like a slightly more organic way of going about it. But also I have no idea how these things work. Yeah. It's a job. Like it's not like you hold the sermons. They hire by committee. You interview in a room full of people. Oh, okay. Well, I was always under the impression that like churches would like pick from their own congregation. Because in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's how that would work. But like, I guess you still need to have certain qualifications, right? Yeah, you needed like a religious education. That's fair now that I think of it. And I guess if you have a religious education, you wouldn't just be like, it's not like you go to like pastor school and then you like come back and just go to church normally until you hope that, the people in charge notice you. I guess that makes more sense. Yeah, it does happen too, but sometimes they don't have someone in the congregation who can do it. Yeah. I guess it's also probably different too, right? Because like being a pastor is probably different than like running like Sunday school, right? Or like, because like there's probably things that like people within the congregation can just volunteer to do. But like, yeah, I guess if you're like leading the whole thing, you probably need somebody with some kind of education and qualifications. Yeah, it's different if it's Protestants and Roman Catholics as well. Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out too. I guess I just never thought of it that way. Because, like, in my mind, it's like, I know that, like, Bible colleges exist. I know there is, like, education you have to do. I guess it just never connected to my brain of, like, yeah, you probably would have to have, like, church resume. Yeah. Music, IT, janitorial work. Yeah, I know that can be mostly done by, like, volunteers. And probably even stuff like, they don't even need to know much about any of those things, right? Like, if you have something like, AV, you can get like one person and then like they can teach everyone else, like, here are the buttons you need to press at this time. Like, it's not like, it's important, but it's not like something that's impossible to train, Yeah. Most free churches are kind of based on Protestant churches at the start. And there are priest seminars. I mean, I guess, again, that checks out. I just never really thought of it that way. Yeah. Check out my prayer history. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably also different if you've only worked at churches and you're trying to like get into another field of work. But that's probably like that's a whole different beast, right? But yeah. I go to a uni where they also train future priests. Oh, interesting. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of like how it works in Canada. I have no idea actually. Like if it's like a specific like Bible school or if it's like you can get like a degree in theology and then go work in a church with that. I actually don't know. But yeah. 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 Employment. Employment. Yeah. Yeah. Looking for work. Huh. Resumes. Job applications. Interviews. Are you looking for a different job? I might be. And I'm gonna try to see if I can stick it out to the end of the year. But like maybe in the new year. Because I started this job in March. So yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. Because also too, somebody else in my department, one of my coworkers is retiring. So I'm like, okay, apparently they have no plans to hire anyone to replace him. So I'm like, okay, so I guess we're gonna have like the same amount of work spread out even more on each of us. So I don't know. I'll have to see how we'll have to see how things go after that. Like, yeah, we'll have to see how things go. We have 2 weeks to figure that out, but yeah. But on the other hand, that also makes me feel bad because I'm like, okay, if I quit my job as well, would they hire anyone to replace me, or am I about to just make my coworkers' lives that much harder? Get more work for the same pay. I don't know. I think performance reviews are coming up. I hope they think I'm good enough to be worth paying slightly more. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I want to try and stick it out at least to the end of the year. What happens next year? Like I said, I don't know what anything in my life is happening after January. I have no idea. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You know? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. It will be difficult, but we're gonna get there regardless. Yeah. Let's say you're great along the year until the performance review. Well, okay, we had like a mid-year performance review, so like they did actually have things to say to me at the mid-year performance review. How that will actually, like, you know, how that will affect the end of the year performance review, we'll have to see. But how well you get along with your coworkers equals you'll stay connected or never see them again. I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, unfortunately, you did not meet expectations for a raise by a hair's breadth. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens. I actually have no idea. I actually have no idea. But yeah, what time is it? Oh, it's 4 p.m. So I think I've been at this for 2 hours and 39 minutes. So I think I will go. I think we should raid. Streams this week. Yes. Maybe we can do. Oh, I wonder if maybe on. When is Halloween? It's Thursday, right? Halloween is Thursday. Yeah, Halloween is Thursday. Maybe we can do something then. Maybe I'll do like over the garden wall. Oh, you know what I want to try this week? I want to do net fish. What is it? Web fishing? Net fishing? The fishing game that everyone's playing now. I want to try that. Maybe I'll do that some point this week. I want to do fishing. Maybe we can do fishing sometime this week. But we'll see how it plays out. Web fishing $5. It's actually slightly more in Canadian dollars. It's like $6 or $7, but it's fine. It's still not that expensive. But yeah, maybe I'll play that this week if I get a moment. I'll do my best. We'll be doing our best. We have to continue doing our best. But what we're gonna do first is raid, because I need to see who's on. Twitch. Oh god, I hate typing with these nails on. I'm so glad I didn't game today. I would not be able to beat anything. Let's see. Oh, we need to raid. I know who we're raiding. We need to raid Zia. Zia's having her proper debut. She's having her proper VTuber debut, so we're gonna raid her. Yeah, thank you. Here we go. Raid Zia. It's underscore. There's an underscore in there, right? Yep. Underscore. Oh, wait. Hold on. Here we go. We are raiding. And we're going to say a whack raid. Yes. The normalest girl on the internet. The most normal. We are, yeah, we'll raid into her. She's having her, like, proper, she's doing, like, a new model debut. Yeah. We'll do that. That will be our raid for today. But yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming also on YouTube. Thank you to everyone on YouTube. We are going to be back. I don't know why I said we. I am going to be back sometime this week. I don't know about the rest of you. Sometime later this week. Morjor's Mask will be back next week, I promise. For sure. For real this time. Yeah, hopefully this week I'll be able to rest a bit more. Last week I was very tired the whole time, but hopefully this week will be a little bit better. But until then, thank you for being here. Look at my cool end card. Thank you. Bye-bye.